that the entire purpose of affirmative action set aside civil rights laws, laws that limit constitutional rights to freedom of contract, freedom of association, all of that was to make up for the legacy of slavery and Jim Crow. So unless these benefits are going to, roughly defined, foundational Black Americans, the descendants of American slaves, you've taken away the whole purpose of this. So to make the point that Kamala isn't a foundational Black American, I'm always pointing to unless these benefits are going to, roughly defined, foundational Black Americans, the descendants of American slaves.
African Americans built this nation. You built this nation. You're just starting to get real credit for that. Okay, I don't know if you know that. You're just starting to you built the nation. We all built it, but you were such a massive part of it. Bigger than you were given credit for. Does that make sense?
Hey, peace. We got some lineage. We got some early lineage love in the super chat. Let's get it. 004. Okay. Super chats are very important. Super chats, the love, that people send with super chats. First of all, that does a couple things. For one, it shows to the people watching that, people are supportive. People value the content, you dig? So other people are motivated to show the same love. A Cash App is good too, but nobody knows that love was sent. You feel me? Besides the person who sent it. Also, super chats help, that love right there, that actually help grows your channel. See, I know YouTube gets a cut, but YouTube, as a result, promotes your channel. They put you in the algorithm, which they've been showing me really love right now because of you guys. You guys liking the video and attending as much as you can. You guys been putting me in the algorithm, So yeah, I don't mind a super chat because YouTube is like, all right, where my cut? It's like, there you go. And then they're like, all right, well, here you go. And before you know it, we're going to be like damn near 5,000-10,000 deep one day up in here. Oh, wow. We got a DSB. Got a super lineage love in there. $50. Thank you very much. Shalom, my warrior brother. And shalom to all of my warrior brothers and sisters in the chat. Yeah, peace to you. Thank you very, very much. Yeah, so both are useful. But man, I appreciate, I definitely appreciate it because it's really humbling and it makes me, I'm live. I'm live at, I went live, it's late. I went live and, and people, so of course the financial support is like very appreciated and I love it. But some people write me emails, right? And I read them and they tell me about themselves and we go back and forth in emails. And some people comment, on past videos that we already done. And they'll say, new subscriber, I love your content and blah, 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 blah. And so all of the love and you guys liking the video is a hella love as well. So people love in different ways. Some people can love financially more than somebody else, no problem. Some people could like the video. That's hella love because really we're relevant because of the likes. And we got the emails and the comments. So all that stuff, man, all that stuff inspiring, man. It's definitely inspiring. It makes it feel like I got a sense of I'm obligated to go live. It's a sense of duty. It's like people kind of like expect me to go live. They kind of depend on the content. So I feel like, let me deliver. I can't have a bad day. Like, you know what? I'm got a bad day. I ain't going live. Nah. Luckily, I don't have too many bad days. And luckily, I'm hardly ever sick. Dig. So, man, I appreciate the love all day long. If you guys can like the video, I'm a little late. I try to go live in the evening, late evening, no later than 8, because I understand that people is already into what they're into by that time. People committed to another live stream and they like, nah, this is good over here. I ain't leaving. So my aim is in between 7 and 8. 7 at the early end, 8 is at the late end. So anything after 8 is because I rock with my lineage. I love my lineage, you dig? But I know it's probably not gonna hit even like in the morning. I like 10 o'clock is the latest I like to go live. So anything after 10 a.m. and if it's not like lit, I'm not shocked because I'm like past my time slot. In the morning, I think my time slot is anywhere from 7 to 10. Late evenings, anywhere from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. I think I got a slimmer time slot to, get some lineage love in the chat, in the audience. So anyway, we got some haters out here. We got haters who feel like they can't be successful unless they talk about us. And those people are Pan-Africans. A lot of them are Pan-Africanists. Check this out.
And what I've been saying for years, that this thing is stupidity that they are doing. These are just a bunch of uneducated Negroes who are sitting back and getting grifted. If anybody thinks that Tariq Nasheed is serious about this movement or he's serious about this thing, just go down my page or go down Afro Think Tank or go down all the other brothers and sisters who are on YouTube who are showing the contradictions. Can't nobody just change overnight. Can't nobody go from being Pan-African to loving Africa to all of a sudden just wake up one morning and say, oh, you know what, we ain't African, we Native Americans.
Come over here and you ain't a coon and you trying to put some things together. When we start talking international, just like with Malcolm, Malcolm started going over there to Africa.
If you read the caption, it says flashback to when he was Pan-African and about unity. Now, this same dude, I wrote him. I'm like, yo, man, let's talk about it. And yo, when I write these guys, they're so sensitive, they're so scary that you can't remotely act like you're debating or challenging. You got to act like, hey, man, it's kumbaya, let's build a bridge together, bro. We got to stop these, diaspora wars, man. It's one love, bro. We all African. You gotta talk like that. That's how I got the proper perspective. And that other dude, Shabazz, I had to talk like that. You can't talk strong with these guys. They're gonna run. You got to act like, nah, baby's all one love. We all African, man. Let's get this together. And then get them on here and tear their ass up. So this dude right here, this is his opinion. His opinion is a flashback to when he was Pan-African and about unity. Now, most of these guys that have all this criticism for Tariq Nasheed, they don't have more receipts than me on Tariq Nasheed. You dig? Because I watched a lot of his content and I'm the clip king. I made hella clips. So I'm going to show you what he was really on. Now, I know that's why the other guy, Ez asked the other day, I don't know why, he just felt like he wants to be a troll, was acting like FBA was a term 10 years ago. It was like, so you just being a contrary for no reason, right? You just want to debate. You want to just be a contrarian just for no reason. Like, dude, and you'll lie and hope I didn't know just to keep the BS going. Say, dude, FBA or ADOS wasn't around in 10 years ago. Like, what's wrong with you, man? And he was quiet and he hopped off. Like, yeah, well, and it's like, all that for what? You dig? Straight up giving tether vibes. Like, you're lying for what? Yeah, we can have an honest conversation. Guess what? We don't have to agree within that honest conversation. At the end of the day, you like, listen, man, I hear you unbiased, but this is how I feel and believe, and I'm gonna rock with this. I'm like, okay, shout out to you. This is how I believe in this is what I'm comfortable standing on. I'm gonna stand on this. But after this video, I'm gonna show you what Tariq Nasheed was on. And it wasn't Pan-Africanism. All right.
Trying to put some things together, they're like, uh-oh. When Malcolm was trying to link us up with them internationally, they're like, okay.
So for one, just notice that, I want y'all to notice this. There's no way any of us could ever be Pan-African, even if we wanted to unite with melanated people of the world. We would never be Pan-African because Pan-African is centered around Africa. You're making Africa the designated place, the designated home, the designated kingdom. You dig? The designated promised land. So to be a Pan-African, you're redirecting all eyes to Africa specifically. That's why it's called Pan-African, right? If it was about global unity, then it'll just be pan-man, pan-human, you dig? Pan-melanated man, something like that. But we'll see if he was ever a Pan-Africanist. And I try to get this guy on here. Let me see if he responded. Let's see. Nah, he's scary. He's scary. See, so these guys, hey, don't do that. Don't do that. You're gonna make a mess in a tub. Yeah, so these guys would talk all that trash and have these crazy opinions, crazy conclusions. But once you challenge them to what they said, it's like, dude, I want to challenge you what you said, not what I said, what you said. And they run like hell. That's why you know Pan-Africanism is dead. Like these guys, at one point, they used to meet you halfway. You want to argue? Let's go. You know your belief system, your ideology, your religion, your movement is garbage when you stop wanting confrontations. Right now, FBA Adolf Friedman, we want all the smoke. We see smoke where it could be steam from a damn pot, boiling water. We're running over there like, oh, false flag. That ain't smoke, that's steam. That's how aggressive we are right now, defending our lineage. We want all the smoke. Just keep in mind, when your organization, movement, anything about what you believe in mass, when you stop wanting confrontations, you know you're done. Okay, it's RIP to that.
We need to go get the Autobahn Theater popping.
This shit makes no sense, and if people had common sense, then they'll be able to see the nonsense because the proof is right there. But you know, one thing about us as black people, we don't like to go do the research ourselves. We'll just rather sit back and hear it from somebody else. The same way all through the school years in the educational system, we were taught to hate ourselves pretty much, and taught that we were.
What does that got to do with what Tariq just said? What did, maybe I missed something.
Slaves,
Let me go back. I missed the Pan-African talk.
Hold on. Like, yes, at least stupidity that they're getting grifted serious about this movement, or who are on YouTube who are loving Africa. Americans.
Come over here and you ain't a coon and you trying to put some things together.
Okay,
when we start
coons.
talking international,
I didn't hear Pan-African.
Like with Malcolm. Malcolm started going over there to Africa.
Okay.
Trying to put some things together. They're like, uh-oh.
Trying to put some things together. Okay. That sounds like FBA putting in work, not bowing down to Africa.
Uh-oh. When Malcolm was trying to link us up with them internationally,
they're
like, okay, we need to go get the Autobahn Theater popping.
This shit makes no sense.
Okay, so if y'all understand Tariq Nasheed work, you know that he has a talking point. He'll say he's against not just white supremacy, he'll say he's against global white supremacy. Right? Okay, so if he's against global white supremacy, it's going to take a global melanated fort. All right? Not African, melanated, not FBA, because we're talking about globally darker people of the world who are facing oppression from global white supremacy. So Tariq Nasheed, that's his argument talking point, global white supremacy. All right, so now let me go to the clips. Told you, man, I'm the clip king. Dig. I be grinding. All right, so we got the clips right now. So this is why, like, people like him, people like Ezax, like, they really don't want to challenge. It's like, yo, you're never gonna catch me off guard. I'm a real researcher. I really take pride in looking up stuff and saving it. You see Garvey right here. You see Garvey, yeah, I got everything over here. I just be waiting for somebody to come at me sideways. You dig? So now, watch this. So I'm gonna tell you exactly what Tariq Nasheed was on with the global fort to combat against global white supremacy, and it wasn't Pan-Africanism. All right, it definitely wasn't that. And then I'm gonna show you when he started the transition. I'm gonna show you his early transition before he even left the idea of a global melanated fort. Before he left that idea, I'm gonna show you when he started to doubt that it can ever happen. So it wasn't like these liars saying Tariq Nasheed was about global unity with the darker peoples of the world, and then he snapped the fingers, and all of a sudden he just FBA delineation. No, I tracked his transition, and it was a slow, long transition. It took him a while to finally hang his hat up with the global, unity fort. So this is down. Okay, come over here. Let me get your towel. Okay. So I might have passed it. I'm just going back. I'm just going up further to make sure it's nothing. I'm not too early. Okay, but I stay with the clips. Okay, so yeah. So now check this out, family. I'm going to play when he starts to doubt that global unity was a possibility. Okay. Uh, so V4 Vengeance, peace, my brother. He says that African dude video you played earlier, whole spill says we're not African because according to him, they have culture and we don't. And they have right. I see where you're going. And they had you said they weren't selling their own people, so they couldn't be African. Right. I see exactly where you're going. Right. So if Africans got culture and we don't got culture, then we can't be African. Right. So he shot himself in the foot. Thank you for the super chat. The lineage love, $10, man. Appreciate it. Okay. So now I'm going to show you Tariq Nasheed transition out of the idea of global unity. Okay. He actually, you see it right here. He actually called it global empowerment. Okay. So I'm telling you guys, you got to be careful when y'all make public statements and you're trying to debate people. Check this out. Hold on. All right, come on. Let me get your towel. Come over.
Empowerment, family. When it comes to laying the foundation for global empowerment, we have to understand as Black Americans that we are in this thing on our own, meaning that we're going to have to really be in the forefront of it. And then when we're on the forefront of it, everybody else will get in line. So I'm not trying to disclude other brothers and sisters globally, but everybody's looking to us. They're looking at our example. See, Black folks have this thing, man, it's so bad over here, we just need to pack up and go to Africa. We don't understand in parts of Africa, not all parts, but the level of coonery that's going on in Africa right now. Now, I don't want to keep I keep saying.
So he's speaking about coonery. So it sounds like he's against the idea of a centered African thought. It sounds like he's anti-Pan-African. He's more pro-global empowerment. So the words he used were global empowerment, not Pan-Africanism. And he rejected the idea of going to Africa as a centered, location, as the epicenter, right? He said because there's too many coons in Africa. All right, so now when was this video made? Now this is when they die. This video was made 7 years ago, family. 7 years ago. Okay. So 7 years ago, he started to question this global empowerment effort. He's seen it as one-sided. He just articulated that we gotta lead it because other melanated people are slacking. So this is called sourcing up. So I was trying to bait that guy, just play to come holler at me, and I was going to cook him with his receipts. Okay, that's 7 years ago. All right, watch this. So now look, he's still at this point. Oh,
I don't want to keep.
My screen froze. Hold on. So I want to be clear that Tariq Nasheed was still global empowerment. He was just questioning efforts from the diaspora and the continent. Okay, so at this point, he was still global empowerment. He still believed in the diaspora and the continent that they could be on code with us and be real. All right. So let me refresh this. So I stayed with the receipts. and I be trying to bait people.
In parts of Africa, not all parts, but the level of coonery that's going
Okay,
on.
so in parts of Africa, not all parts. He made a clarification. He was never about all of Africa was coons. He said parts of Africa, not all parts.
In parts of Africa, not all parts, but the level of coonery that's going on in Africa right now. Now, I don't want to keep, I keep saying this, and I want people to understand the gravity of it. And I'm going to Africa this week, and I'm not saying everybody in Africa is cooning, because you do have people who are about empowerment.
Empowerment.
But
he didn't say Pan-Africanism. He said empowerment. I'm telling you guys, people ain't ready, man.
There's a lot of the coonery outweighs the empowerment.
You see? So he's like, yeah, we got some riders, but the coonery, see, there's no term for tether. The coonery is louder than the riders riding with us. And today, yes, the tether class is louder than the riders. Nothing changed.
And a lot of times we have to understand there are
Look at the year, 7 years ago,
who are black, who we think are down just because they're black. Now
what happened? He said there are people who are black and we think they are down because they're blacks. You see? So he started to peep this global empowerment thing might be a farce. Okay, this might be just wishful thinking. You see, he's starting to doubt it. This is 7 years ago. He's starting to back out of this global empowerment fort. All right?
know what situation
I stay with the receipts.
We think are down just because they're black. Now we know what situation they are in. We know what predicament they are in. And a lot of times we think because they look and sound like us, we're supposed to bring them into the circle and they're going to be team empowerment.
Empowerment.
And a lot of times we bring these people around us and we think that they're on the team, or we entertain these people, and psychologically they're team white supremacy all day.
Uh-oh, that sounds like he's calling them a tether. That sounds like he's delineating 7 years ago. He said, everybody ain't down with us because they look like us. Okay, and he said they are team white supremacy. Now, he's not talking about foundation Black Americans. He's talking about the people abroad, internationally, outside of America. Okay, so now, you see, 7 years ago, he was already delineating or beginning to delineate, and he was already classifying these people separately, distinguishing them separately from other riders. The riders, he was starting to separate from the coonery, the coons. And he was saying they are team white supremacy. Let's keep going.
Not only that, they have no psychological identification with us.
Uh-oh. Oh, that sounds like delineating. That sounds like he just delineated. He said us, that's Black Americans. Okay, one more time.
And I'm talking logical identification with us.
Wait, back it up.
Logically, they're team white supremacy all day.
Mm-hmm.
Not only that, they have no psychological identification with us.
And
I talked about this on my live show this weekend. A lot of people, and we're going to be very honest, who are from the Caribbean and who are from African countries.
Oh, he's calling them out. He was specific. He said the Caribbean and Africa. He delineated way back 7 years ago, before Claude Anderson with the native, all that Claude Anderson talk. This is predating the Dr. Claude Anderson stuff. Okay?
They do not identify with us. Black show this weekend.
Listen,
a lot of people, and we're going to be very honest, who are from the Caribbean and who are from African countries.
Same two culprits.
They do not identify with us, Black Americans.
Uh-oh.
Now they come over here and they get the benefits of America, and they get the benefits of the civil rights struggle.
So his talking points were the same 7 years ago. So that's not a grift. That's called consistency.
We led.
And by the way, he is saying this as he's promoting global empowerment. Global, not American empowerment. He is saying this. He's observing this as he's promoting global empowerment with the diaspora and Africans from the continent. Okay? So he was delineating and pointing out their coon class as he's attempting to work with them.
But a lot of people from the Caribbean or people who have Caribbean parents or African parents, the first and second generation people from these other countries, a lot of times they simply don't identify with us. So they're not really trying to build or empower us or themselves with us. They're like, let me get mine and let me send it back to my country because I'm not like these niggas here.
Okay, so he started to peep that when he was not being a Pan-Africanist, but being a global empowerment guy, right? He started to realize, hey, this ain't gonna work. These guys, their coonery is just too much. Their coonery is sabotaging the efforts to want to work with the riders. Like, you know what I mean? At this point, he's about to blow it all up. Yeah, everybody just hold their own nuts, man. Like, y'all deal with y'all tether class, and we'll deal with our coon class, and we'll meet back up when all that stuff is straightening. Like, that's where he's headed right now, 7 years ago.
Now,
By the way, I don't believe there's an ADOS either at this time.
Some of the advantages I get that these Negroes have taken bumps and bruises for. But other than that, I'm not with these Black Americans. Even Black folks who were born here to foreign parents, they identify to the country that their parents are from because their parents have drilled into them, you're not like these Black Americans, you're something.
And ain't that what we've been hearing from these second gen, third gen, first gen Africans? Aren't they now saying their parents told them to stay away? They're different, they're better. So he was spot on. Tiger, peace. Peace, Carl for President Anthony. Tiger says he's commented. He added me in for vintage. He says I suspected the African dude that played in his earlier broadcast was very much what you described, and I ain't surprised at all. He said, okay, just right, got you. Golden Brown, peace. That's all of the Black immigrants. They don't relate to FBA struggle. Claude says, peace to Claude. Peace, Stormy Weather, Golden Brown, Tiger, Sounds Bantu, Urban Commute. Do a quick roll call. Legatic, FBA Convo. We got V4 Vengeance in the building. You dig? For Lang, DSB, Donnie. We got Young Deity. We got that DSB super chat of $50. We got the super chat. Let's get it, $4.99, and we got the $10 super chat. Where that one go? Oh, a V4 Vengeance. All right. So this is debunking other guy claim how Tariq Nasheed was a Pan-Africanist and then just snapped his fingers and just grifted to delineation. No, he's still global empowerment, but he's second guessing the reality of it.
Else. As a matter of fact, you're a little better because we've never been enslaved over in my country. You understand? A lot of them have that mentality. And they don't understand white supremacy is slavery. They don't understand right now you are enslaved because they enslave you economically. Just because the white slave owner isn't over you beating a whip, they control your economy, they control your resources. That's why when a white supremacist shows up to one of these African countries, they run around with their drums dancing. You know who Massa is.
Okay, so he's pointing out all that tough talk. But when white people come over there, they start showing out like hell.
You can call it slavery, colonialism. It's all the same thing. It's white supremacy.
Told you.
Yeah, they call us Akatas as if they're in a better situation. And
this is 7 years ago when he was still had hopes that there could be global empowerment with the diaspora, the continent, and America.
They're not. We're in the same boat, but see, as Black Americans, we understand that. We're in the belly of the beast. And when you're in the belly of the beast, you can see what it is. Just like during slavery, most of the people who ran away were house slaves. When you look at a lot of the runaway slave notices from the 1800s and 1700s.
All right, let me stop right there. I'm going to play the whole video, but I'm just sourcing up. Check this out.
Reparations are giving record deals to some of these foreign rappers who come from other countries, like ASAP people, he's half, Kodak.
Okay, so you see, this is 6 years ago. Let me just show you. So he started to assess that a lot of the non-FBA rappers started to like behave in a way where it was like primitive, savage, degenerate, but they look like they're Black American, so therefore they're representing Black America. So he's saying they're giving us a bad look with all this extra ratchet, thug, killer behavior.
Nicki, 21 Savage, all these people from other countries who come here and get record deals by the white execs, and their audience is primarily white. Understand, 75% of the rap audience is white. So all of these non-foundational Black people, they come over here putting out these records and promoting them to another white audience, and whenever they do something ratchet, oh, well, the Black culture. Oh, your DJ Khaled. So whenever they do something ratchet, then it's Black culture.
See?
Oh, so Lil Nas X is half Guyana? Okay.
See? All right, hold on. Let me do a few more. Okay. All right, let me do a few more. Okay. Let me do it. And this was not part of the show, by the way. But I felt like I had to debunk old boy. And then I'm gonna show you when he just gave up. All right. Then I'm gonna show you when he gave up. All right. He was like, man, the hell with this. The hell with this global empowerment. Watch this.
And a lot of times we have to understand there are people who are Black who we think are down just because they're Black. Now, we know what situation they are in. We know what predicament they are in. And a lot of times we think because they look and sound like us, we're supposed to bring them into the circle and they're going to be team empowerment.
Yes. So that part.
And a lot of times we bring these people around us and we think that they're on the team, or we entertain these people.
I didn't play this.
And psychologically, they're team white supremacy all day. Not only that, they have no psychological identification with us.
All right, it's freezing up. Give me a second. Because I got too many tabs. All right, listen. This is still 7. This that same live where he said all this in the same live where he was team global empowerment, right? He's saying all this in that same live.
A lot of people from the Caribbean, or people who have Caribbean parents or African parents, the first and second generation people from these other countries, a lot of times they simply don't identify with us. So they're not really trying to build or empower us or themselves with us. They're like, let me get mine and let me send it back to my country because I'm not like these niggas here. Now, I like some of the advantages I get that these Negroes have taken bumps and bruises for. But other than that, I'm not with these Black Americans. Even Black folks who were born here to foreign parents, they identify to the country that their parents are from because their parents have drilled into them, you're not like
that part we already did.
And that happens with a lot of people. They come over here and they're like, I'm gonna be a coon, I'm gonna throw these Negroes under the bus because I ain't like these Akatas. I'm gonna be a Black Republican. A lot of these people with these Nigerian last names, and I'm not shitting on Nigeria, my folks, a lot of my good folks are from Nigeria, but a lot of these Black Republicans have Nigerian family members, Nigerian parents, and they be all up at the Tea Party meetings, kissing ass, and then
this is 7 years ago. This doesn't sound like Tariq Nasheed's a Pan-Africanist. So now I need you guys to bring your receipts. Better than what old boy did. I need real receipts. I just show a real receipt. He was team empowerment, team global empowerment, never African centered. Okay. And matter of fact, he said Africa needs to get in the back of FBA. He was American centered. That's a fact. So I need somebody to show me something older than this where he was team Africa and Africa was centered.
And I don't care about just numbers. I care about quality. I like quality people. Like I always said, I just need 300 quality down-ass people. I'm good with that. You can get a lot of shit.
Now this is when he left the idea of team global empowerment. He just said, just give me 300. The hell with these billion potential Africans and African diaspora and who supposedly was down with the cause. He said, man, I'm so worn out and drained. Just give me 300.
And I don't care about just numbers. I care about quality. I like quality people. Like I always said, I just need 300 quality down-ass people. I'm good with that. You can get a lot of shit done with just 300 people. Look at the movie 300. That's what I like about that movie. That was the whole theme of that movie. A small group of people changed the course of history. You go back to the Haitian Revolution. It started with a small group of people. Wasn't the whole island of Africans. It was a small group of people who had a voodoo ceremony in the swamp.
Oh, so he's giving the Haitian Revolution credit. So all of a sudden he's a Pan-Africanist. Just silly. He's using it as a reference. All right. That's it. That's it on that. All right. So, oh boy, just made that up. He just literally made that up. He's a Pan-Africanist, and now all of a sudden he's something else. Just made that up, buddy. All right. So what am I looking at right here? 1 second. 1 second. Let me turn this down. Too loud. Okay, cool. All right, let's see what we got here. What's cooking over here? I see. Okay. Let's play this.
But I met, like, so my friend connected me out with his friend. So Chris connected me with a girl there. Shout out
And
to
her
her.
voice
She was
deep as
lovely.
hell.
And her boyfriend. And I just started this conversation about like Black Brits and African Americans. No, sorry, Africans and African Americans.
Africans and African Americans.
Oh my gosh! And I saw the discourse on Twitter, and I just couldn't believe there was so much.
What was it? Let's talk about it a little bit.
So you probably have to bring an American here to talk on it better.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like, my understanding is African Americans feel like Africans that go to America look down on them because they.
African Americans feel like Africans that go
to America
look down upon
them because what they see depicted on television is like ghetto and uneducated and
interesting
blocks and stuff like that. So then African Americans there feel like they should get first dibs on any kind of.
Yo, what the hell is she talking about? Yo, why every time they try to Black immigrants try to explain the issue that we have with some ungrateful non-FBA Africans, why they just can't? Why does it seem like it's that difficult just to get it? What is she talking about? First dibs and what the?
But like, from my understanding, oh my gosh! And I saw the discourse on Twitter, and I just couldn't believe there was so much.
What was it? Let's talk about it a little
so bit. You probably have to bring an American here to talk on it better. But like, from my understanding is African Americans feel like Africans that go to America look down on them because they.
African Americans feel like Africans that go
to America
look down upon
them because what they see depicted on television is like ghetto and uneducated and
interesting
blocks and stuff like that. So then African Americans there feel like they should get first dibs on any kind of. This is what was communicated, by the way, everybody in the internet world that likes to jump. Just don't jump. Like, but he was kind of saying like.
Yeah, you got to stop watching Tether Dream and Afro Think Tank channels, and once you just get it from the horse's mouth, like watch it FBA channel, but you are struggling trying to represent what we stand on.
Feels like basically when America's doing stuff for Black people, they're just doing it based on color. They're not doing it on who was actually a descendants of slaves and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? And they feel
yeah. Listen, we're saying it's real simple. We are the injured. We are the only injured party. Okay, so now it's time to compensate the injured party. Then the compensation should just go to the injured party. Why is the compensation extended to people who are not injured? That's the best analogy I can use. That's what we're saying.
Or like they shouldn't lose out on their jobs or whatever to Africans who are going to America. And it's a really it's a kind of conversation that would make a slave owner happy, and that's why I don't fuck with it.
It'll make a slave master happy. So again, they just blame, you know what? I can't really, this is her logic. I can't really explain it, but I don't like it. So, because it seems like they're making sense. It seems like they're excluding some of us, the tether class, and I'm not trying to really learn it. So I see that it'll make the slave master happy. So I don't F with it. So FBAs are, again, we're just stupid. We're just stupid until they call in. So this logic that this tether has, it sounds great until they actually ask Unbiased Ron for the link or the phone number. And then they look like a fool, like Proper Perspective and everybody else who called in. Revenue.
Like anything that I feel like creates division with black people.
So anything that creates division. So when they say their parents taught them to stay away from us, is that also giving plantation vibes? Like, come on. And that's why a lot of FBA is like, yo, man, just to hell with them. And I can't really blame them. Like that's not my attitude, but I really can't blame the ones who feel like that. Because this rhetoric right here, this anti-FBA rhetoric is so common amongst non-FBA Africans. It's so common.
I'm very hesitant to jump in it. I'm sure everyone has.
Yeah, because that came up with acting, didn't it?
No, that's Black Brits and African Americans. But yeah, like it seems like African Americans seem from these different conversations I've had with African Americans, as well as just seeing what they say on Twitter and stuff, which I know isn't the Bible, but they are very protective over what they believe is theirs, right? Because they've gone through some crazy stuff, right?
Absolutely.
So when they feel like another black person who doesn't have that trauma is benefiting off of what they believe is theirs, they're very like, what? But it means that they kind of separate themselves and isolate themselves from the diaspora. Like, I don't call myself British. Like, I don't even think about it, but it's not, I'm Nigerian. Like, someone say, where you from? Nigerian.
Are you Nigerian?
Okay. I might even say that before South London. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's just because we are raised with our background.
Right.
They're raised with their background. Tell me more.
But they don't have that. It's definitely not their fault, and so they've created their own identity, which was
so we don't have a background. It's not our fault. We created our own identity. This is yo. She's being honest how she feel about us, but that's not division though. So those words you said, those are not divisive words. Those aren't disrespectful, unsympathetic, defamatory. Let me guess, you're speaking with love.
So wavy, just because we are raised with our background, but they don't have that. It's definitely not their fault, and so they create their own identity, which was so wavy and popular that everyone's taking it. Yeah, but I feel like they separate.
My fault. I'm in the background working on a shit. Okay, now my screen just froze. Hold on.
You know, if you have a cousin, but one of you grew up in the suburbs and one grew up in the hood, when he comes to chill with you, he might act like he's from the hood. Nah, big man, you don't know. This stuff
do you know what? And I can understand the element of that in a sense of like, I can understand the sensitivity.
Yeah.
Because of what.
So she just made a straw man. She just made some bullshit up, and now he's gonna respond to some stuff she made up, and they're gonna have a build on a false narrative, a misrepresentation on how FBAs truly feel and what we stand on and our talking points. But go on.
Is happening to them.
Yeah.
Or what they experience over there.
Yeah.
But I do also understand that, like, yeah, for the greater good, that mentality is not a good mentality to have.
Like, how is it that the actions of somebody outside of your community is making you divide from those who look like it? Just doesn't.
The greater good is, whatever the fight is that we're fighting in regards to this is for all of us.
Yeah.
For all of us worldwide, essentially, because the reality is, for me,
white man,
in the way that I see it, people of darker skin are treated the worst everywhere in the world, as far as I'm concerned.
Yep.
No matter what country you go to,
mate,
even in
India.
your own, let me tell you something, and I remember having this conversation with my
no, thank you.
And I understand that, like, let me land here.
Yeah. No disclaimer.
It's like you're almost deemed as though, see, like if you're a white person in Jamaica or whatever, people will naturally, it's as if you're not born there. But even if you are born there, you will be seen almost as a higher class immediately. Mm-hmm. It could be, that class could be that you come from money, or it could just be like a certain privilege that you have with that. So even in your own country, the privilege that you feel like you should be entitled to, you don't have. So then imagine going to a country where you are a minority, that same minority that a white person will experience in being in a black country, that privilege that you will get, or that they may see you as, you don't have that as a minority in someone else's country.
No,
do you understand what I'm saying?
Of course I understand.
Someone wouldn't, if I went to like,
I'm
50's never had Kane wrote in his life.
I'm literally like 40 shades darker than Beyonce. I don't understand what's going on here. I don't understand it. No, and you're right. That's something actually I didn't travel. I traveled. I had a horrible experience when I traveled to Turkey one time, wrongfully accused of a crime. Like, it was a whole story. Yeah. Wherever white people go, they are given the grace of being more than good enough or better than.
Right.
That's a
it's
deep
not
voice.
Even then just that, it's then just skin tone. So like you look at, you was going to say Indians, it's like the darker you are as an Indian or as a person over there, is the less privileged you are going to be seen because of that.
That's because the whole slave trade thing affected, like, do you know what I mean? Like, this idea of the closer to white. Do you know what's mad? So I interrupted you. Do you want to finish your point? I watched Good Hair for the first time ever. It was this thing done by the guy that Will Smith slapped. I'm so sorry, Chris Rock.
Oh, Chris Rock.
Yeah. And the narrative of that, the mentality behind that.
Anyway, let's move on.
If Trump decides to kick everybody else, where are you gonna go? If they start kicking everybody out, go back to your country. Where they're gonna go? I'm going straight home to Africa.
Okay, so look at this tether. He said if Trump, again, they keep associating us with immigrants. They don't understand we're not even immigrants. They don't understand that we actually halfway built the country. They really don't know that. They don't care to either. But they really don't understand that we 50-50 built the damn country. How can you deport somebody who 50-50 built the country? They don't get that. They don't understand it because they don't know our history, and they don't care to know it. So he just said, if Trump kicks everybody out, and he's talking about immigrants, he said, everybody got to go home. Where's your home? Right? So America's not our home anymore. That's just because to them, we're immigrants. When I say to them, I'm talking about tethers. So he said, I'm going back home. I'm going, he's suggesting Africa. So now he's like, well, where are you FBAs going? Because you don't have a home. You're the lost tribe. The lost tribe of Africa.
If Trump decides to kick everybody else, where are you gonna go? If they start kicking everybody out, go back to your country. Where they're gonna go?
Look,
I'm going straight home to Africa, in my village where the land, I got a land 30 acres, 40 acres.
Oh, damn. He got a land, 30 acres, 40 acres. He's the chief of the tribe. The whole Wakanda spill. All right. What is white girl? What is white girl? Go ahead.
To Africa, in my village where the land, I got a land 30 acres, 40 acres. Where the African American gonna go?
If Trump kicked everyone out tomorrow, where would African Americans go? Some say Africa. But the truth is, there's nowhere else to call home. Stick around, because this changes everything you thought about home and opportunity. Hey everyone, it's O'Shea Duke Jackson sliding.
Hey yo, these are some crazy, jealous, hateful tethers. And y'all really think we're going to be team Pan-Africanism one day? Y'all really think we're going to be team global empowerment again. Like, come on, stop. All right. What is white girl? Okay, here we are. No. I'm gonna go on him later. I like him so far. So far, I like this guy. I watched a couple of his videos. He didn't really say anything bad about FBA so far. So far, he's okay with me. All right, check this out. Now, this is some. Oh my God! Wow, yo, this is why these folks are obsolete. You dig? Everybody on this table. So you got Foundation Black Americans here. You got Africans of the diaspora. And why? And they're all Pan-Africanists, so they can't just they just because they're Pan-Africanists, they can't keep it real about Africa. Now they gotta cope and shuck and jive. Listen to this garbage.
Understand it.
I get worried when we compare each other's experiences and say someone's is worse or not, just because I simply don't know what it's like to grow up in Jamaica or Haiti or something like that.
And they're all Pan-Africanists, so they can't just.
From having traveled to Brazil and being here in the United States, I feel like we deal with it
Oh,
very
thank
differently.
you. I'm sorry, I missed the super chat. Tiger Crane Shakir, thank you, brother. He says Caribbean cools are Big Matt and FBA delineating good. Right, man. Right. Now this is an FBA coon right here. Look at this. He's just. I mean, why we just can't have an honest conversation and say what's really on your heart. It could be right or wrong, but get it off your chest.
In a very shared way. So the legacy of white supremacy, colonialism, imperialism has hit us all very difficult, whether we're in a majority white population or place, or whether it's predominantly black. And I think the way that trickles down can be very different, but you still.
Oh, damn, DSB, you back in the super chat again? I thought it was the same one, man. Damn, bro, $50. Thank you. He says, first of all, Dusty African lady, this is our land. We want it back, and we want our damn money and land. All of it. Stay in your lane. Sick of people in our business that don't concern them. Yeah, I swear I thought that was the same one you sent before. I just happened to look at it. Like, all right, thank you, bro. I really appreciate you, man. That's back to back, $50. That's $100, man. Let me see what I'm doing with the super chats today. Definitely going back to Walmart. Matter of fact, you know what y'all just did for me? Yeah, I just bought my 3-year-old son his school clothes because I realized, remember, we was in the South for a whole year. So we just wore shorts. Like even right now, we were in the South, we were wearing shorts. Like, yeah, you're not wearing jeans down there. You dig? Not now. Shit hot as hell. So in Jersey, when I put his jeans on for the first time in a year, I realized they're short. You dig? Like, wow, he grew. So you guys definitely, all of you, Tiger, all of you at V4, everybody in the chat definitely just bought the school clothes. Appreciate it.
Still see that legacy of supremacy hurting us in one way or another. So I do get a little bit worried when we think maybe, someone's pay might be worse than another. It's just that I just don't know your experience that well.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'll agree with Vanessa in the sense that I don't know if you can compare, but I think it's different. I mean, based on what Adolfo said, we understand it's different. I mean, I went to a school where we're all black kids in Togo. I mean, that's different from going to a school where you may be all black kids, but in a different neighborhood where you understand that it's...
Okay, so listen to what he's saying. What he's saying is important so far. Like, he's giving you the difference of experiences, the different struggles between foundational Black Americans and Africans of all of the diaspora and the continent. So listen to him.
That I don't know if you can compare, but I think it's different. I mean, based on what Adolfo said, we understand it's different. I mean, so
he's letting the coon FBA lady acting like everything's the same. He's like, nah, I think it's different. I think I think our experiences are different. So listen to this.
I went to a school. I think it's different. I mean, based on what Adolfo said, we understand it's different. I mean, I went to a school where we're all black kids in Togo. I mean, that's different from going to a school where you may be all black kids, but in a different neighborhood where you understand that it's quasi-separated. So what I'm trying to say is that although there may be the legacy of colonialism and white exploitation in Africa, the way you confront it on a daily basis is different. So coming to America and facing racism, I mean, the injustice of racism, at a personal level, you definitely have to experience the stress and everything. But I think there is the burden of the past experiences. And what I suspect is that growing up in America puts on you a greater burden potentially than growing up in Africa, because the point I'm trying
Boom. 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 So yeah, family, don't be trigger happy. You got a lot of supporters in the diaspora. You got a lot of supporters in Africa. Just that the tether class right now is a little louder. But this dude is keeping it real. You dig?
to make. And what I suspect is that growing up in America puts on you a greater burden potentially than growing up in Africa, because the point I'm trying to make is that that experience is not individual on a daily basis in Africa. I'm not claiming it's on a daily basis here, but what I'm trying to say is that the reality of it may be more pervasive here than it will be in Africa. So I definitely think it's different. But I think as you come in an American society, you are as exposed to it as anyone else. And at an individual level, it may matter to just like anyone else. It's just whether or not what the burden of the past is to you. Some Africans fully share the burden, do experience it and understanding, and some don't.
Okay, so he's the only one that I know of to keep it real in that panel. Everybody was doing the kumbaya stuff. He like, nah, like our experiences are different. You guys are oppressed by white people, a whole different ethnic group. We are, and he's saying for himself, like, yo, we are oppressed by our own people. So when folks say, what about black on black crime? Ain't nobody know black on black crime more than people in the diaspora and Africa. They got black on black everything. All right. So let's move on. Peace to Diamond, Born Enemy. DSB said, no problem, FBA Convo. My word family, Shalom, Buckhorse, DC, my warrior brother. That's right. Aspiring Heights said, I sent the $3 cash at 9. Okay, yeah. So thank you for the cash app. I definitely came around looking at them today. Like I'll be on the go. Like I'll be like, man, I love walking, man. I love walking. Like my legs are so strong. I lost, like down south, I wasn't getting out the house as much. Started to get like a little belly, some slight little belly. But man, it's walking, man. I'm over here looking like The Rock. Now I'm lying. But man, I love walking. But I walk a lot. So when I walk a lot, I'm not really on the phone like that. If I'm on the phone, I got the headset and the phone's in like my pocket. So I'm not really holding it to see like text messages or missed calls, But anyway, let's go. But I appreciate it. Thank you.
And I never felt American enough here. So
Okay. So she is from a different country, I believe.
Yes. I feel like I'm stuck in the
Caribbean American. Do you feel like you have Rashida?
Names than our respective tribes.
So Rashida, as a Caribbean American, do you feel like you have a disconnect from your Caribbean culture since you were born and raised in the US?
I feel like I'm stuck in the middle. My parents were very good at like keeping the food and listening to music and stuff, but I never felt Caribbean enough to like move to the Caribbean, and I never felt American enough here. So I was always in the middle, half and half. And then when I moved from New York to the South, it's like I wasn't Southern enough. My accent wasn't Southern enough down here. And I sounded like Sandy Cheeks, even though I moved to Georgia. I sounded like Sandy Cheeks to New Yorkers. So it's like, all right. So I'm just be chilling by myself.
So how did you, or are you working towards building that bridge or that gap between learning the two different cultures? Is there really an American? See, I ask myself this as an African American, is there an American culture? But I can honestly say, like, entertainment wise, some of our tradition, our hair.
Yeah, okay. All right, bye, Felicia.
The lines just start to blur. Go ahead. What?
Can we start off by that Burna Boy comment? He did not actually say that though.
Yeah. Okay.
All
right. We're coming. We're gonna get to that.
Because
But
you're not
first,
going to disparage my man's.
Let's get to the basics of that. We kind of have a framework of the conversation and let's like break down race, ethnicity, and nationality. That way, there's like no confusion on how this conversation is being structured.
Yeah.
So
can you give us a definition? Because I know nobody knows it by heart.
Does anybody else want to do it before I go?
Give you what?
For race, ethnicity, and nationality.
I prefer you break it down.
Okay.
Oh, it's right here if you want to read it.
Oh,
yeah, go ahead.
my bad. I missed the comment by Coliseum Arguments. Peace, man.
Like we in class. Right, Calvin.
All right.
Come on, historian.
So define race, ethnicity, and nationality. Race, a social construct based on physical
Carl for President Anthony said, I'm going back to Philly because
characteristics often used to categorize and divide people. Ethnicity involves cultural practices, traditions, language, and shared history. It reflects a group's cultural identity rather than physical appearance.
Yeah, Aspiring Heights, you see everybody got to talk about FBA. And they're either saying FBA, they're saying diaspora, they're saying Tariq Nasheed, they're saying something that implies they're going to be talking about FBAs if they're not outright saying FBA in the title.
And nationality refers to the nation state to which a person belongs, is tied to geographic, legal, and political identity.
There we go.
All right. So that brings us to the very important first question. What does it mean to be Black? And who gets to decide? I feel like that's been really controversial
What does it mean to be Black and who gets to decide? Oh boy.
on the internet as of late. I don't know if y'all got Twitter or not, or X, I'm sorry. But yeah, can anyone...
It's 10 o'clock already. See, that's why I hate coming on late, man. The time ain't your friend, yo.
One get started by helping us to understand what does it mean to be Black
and the gatekeeping of Blackness. And just to give like an example so people kind of understand.
She's like, Tariq, tell the thumbnail, you are funny, yo.
Like some people might be like, what do you mean we're all Black in this? Everybody in this room is Black. So what are you saying? For example, I told Christine that we got a comment on one of our videos when we were talking. Willie was actually talking about South Sudanese people making it to the Olympics. And someone commented and was like, in this particular video, y'all are identifying as South Sudanese. In prior videos, when you guys are talking about your experience in America, you consider yourself Black. Are you Black or are you South Sudanese? And we were a little confused because we're like, we're both Black.
You can't be both. You're either Black or South Sudanese. That's the thing I'm saying. You cannot be Black. Black ain't a nickname. Black is not an alternative for us. Black is all it is. It's an identity. It defines us. Black by itself. You could say the Black man, Black woman. You don't even got to say American. We have been just defined, just Black man, Black woman, that Black kid, the Black job. Remember, they're taking, what did Trump say? Trump said they're taking Black jobs, you see? So the word Black by itself is an identifier. And I believe this right here. Let me just Google on the fly. I heard this. I don't know if it's true. So we'll learn together. Was Black I think is, let me see if I can type it right. Okay, there we go. Is Black capitalized when talking about people? Let's learn together. Yes, Black is now a proper noun. Black is capitalized when referring to people of African descent because it represents a shared identity, culture, and history. Many leading style guides, including the Associated Press and the Modern Language Association, have adopted this practice, noting that the word signifies a cultural and ethnic group, not just a color. Okay, it didn't say cultural and ethnic groups, plural. So this Black, again, it's a proper noun now, and it's just speaking about foundational Black Americans. You see? Now, you guys didn't even notice that Black is now capitalized, like Japan, like Jamaica. You dig? Yeah, who already knew this? Who already knew this? So that's what I'm trying to say. You're not both. Black refers to a certain people in America. It's not a nickname. It's not an alternative. You dig? There's no Black South Sudanese. Like what else color would you be? You dig? That don't make any sense. Hold on, my screen froze. Yeah, like why would we have to add that qualifier there? If like wouldn't South Sudanese explain itself? Okay. Where did that video go? Oh, let's go back. Wait, there we are.
And we're both South Sudanese. And their response was, you can't, like, my blackness cannot be put on and taken off. I'm black. I'm always black wherever I go. I can't be South Sudanese, or I can't be Nigerian or Kenyan. It's like their blackness is them identifying as black is like put on them as like a jacket that they can't take off, where we can take it off.
Somebody put it really well. They said like it's not a jacket that you can wear when it suits you and then take it off when it doesn't.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
Yeah.
I think the fact that the word black is used for so many different type of people, man. I mean, black, to define what you asked, what does it mean to be black? To me, and maybe y'all share some of these same definitions, but to me, black mean the majority. As y'all look at the world, it's 75-25.
Now, you see, they don't even know black has its own definition as a proper noun that I just showed. There's no need to make up something now. There's an actual definition for black. You dig? It didn't say ethnic groups. You dig? It's an ethnic group singular. It's talking about foundation black Americans.
I hate to come out, first question shooting like that, but we really the majority everywhere we go. It's just, two continents that have a continental majority, but everywhere else is melanin. Also, black is also being part of the group of people who are stigmatized because of their ability. So if you consider yourself somebody who has been marginalized, said you can't do, put in a ideological box to be, one thing or another, to be black or have that black mindset, you black. And then thirdly, if you got melanin, now,
I'm not.
I think a lot of times.
And will y'all stop saying I paused the video too much? I gotta pause the video. You want me to get flagged? Y'all already see me get flagged by sharing the Amanda Seals 20, 1v20 black conservative. I got flagged. I gotta pause the video like everybody else you watch that does reactions. What do you think Tariq Nasheed does when he go live and he says, what did he say? Fair use, fair use, fair use. You cannot just play folks' content. You gotta stop it. That's why I know a lot of you guys are not content creators. And I get it. It's annoying because when I watch certain people and they share a video and I never seen it before, yes, I want to watch the whole thing too without interruptions. And it is annoying, but I understand they have to. They get flagged. That's part of the YouTube terms and conditions. Go read them. You're really not supposed to play a minute of anybody's video without giving content. Or that's seen as violating the fair use terms and conditions. Like, really, you just got to read it, man. And it's tricky because even then, it can be an issue. Like sharing somebody's video, period, can be an issue. Okay, so then you want to be respectful because when you share somebody's video, we all get a notification that our content was shared. So yes, we get a chance to go look at it and see how much, if they was wilding out or if they were respectful, and not playing the whole video flat out and just, talking in between it. But yeah, like all of us that videos are being borrowed, we all have the power to force our video off your channel. Every last person, when you borrow somebody's video and do a live reaction, every last person is given the opportunity to at least to attempt to, because I guess you got the fair use thing. The other side can like appeal it, but there's I'm gonna show y'all one day. I'm gonna show y'all what it says. These people are sharing, and it tell you the percentage of the video that they're sharing: 100%, 30%, 20%, and it says what course of action we'd like to do. And you could say nothing, or you can request that your video be deleted. Yeah, so I'm telling you, I know what I'm doing. I know it's annoying, but just bear with the process. Just trust your boy.
We put barriers around everything to separate us some more than what we already separated. So we as all black people,
nothing,
one
or
or
you
another.
Can say, request that your video be deleted.
It's a million things to be black. I mean, it's not just one thing to be black. I don't know who would say black is just this or South Sudanese or Kenya.
Yeah, dude is just rambling. All right, dude, we got it, man. We got
black
it.
is a whole bunch of stuff wrapped up, and it's kind of hard to put that in one.
So let me shout out folks who came in the building. We got Ray Ray. We got the Mandalorian. We got who else came in the building as I was ranting. Aspiring Heights says, exactly, FBA News and Updates. I guess they trying to convince us that we are the same race to secure getting all of our tangibles. Right. I listen, man, I showed y'all the definition of black. I showed y'all. I said it's now a proper noun. So all those Moors who were lying, saying it's a color, you ain't a color. Well, we got one back at you. So you got the Black's Law Dictionary 4th edition. Well, you need the Black's Law Dictionary 2025 edition. Okay, because black is now proper noun, and is not a color. You're done.
Word. I would like to piggyback that statement. I think we have to define what being black is. For us, we have been going off of a stereotype that we didn't choose.
Yeah, you about to say
what being black
stuff.
is. Who has made the stereotype or the notion that you're not black if you're light skinned, you come from a white mother, a black father, or indifferent? When do we step up to the plate and say, this is what black people define black as?
So let's do that. Like,
but at that point, though, is there not a separation between, are we considering black a culture or black a race? Because as a race, it's way...
It's an ethnic group that has a culture. How about that?
Different because based off of that comment saying you cannot take that black off you, but we were representing a nationality.
Right.
If you are a person from Canada and you are black and the Canadian team wins something, you are going to say, hey, shout out to the Canadian team. Does that now diminish your blackness? You're still black.
Right.
But there's no podium
and
there.
That's
for
why
black
I say
people.
we need to come in the stats of what it means to be black.
The same way like black Americans. When you think of American, what color do you think of?
American is white.
Red,
that's the majority.
So, but I'm born and raised here.
Yeah, so America is white. That's the majority. So now the majority, they just say stupid shit, man. I'm sorry, I got to curse. I don't want to curse, but I try not to curse. But that slipped out. They just be saying stupid stuff. The two tethers on the left. Listen to them.
I'm black, so it just come out straight black. Just like how the girls was confused with Jamaicans. People already associate Jamaicans as a black.
But they associate
when you said the girls, you got to put context for the video. Yeah, go ahead.
What's the girl name? Well, I don't know. They was on the Daily Crew.
Yeah, let me ask you something. What country?
No. We already done with her. No, we already played that right there. I can't do her again with that cake, so I cannot do her again.
Majority.
Right, but is
America's a different construct because there's so many cultures and ethnicities in America. If you go to China, you don't call a Chinese person yellow. Nobody in Chinese, there's no really
race. But they have
in
different
China.
ethnicities in China.
But they don't have race in China. It's just Chinese.
So this is what I was saying.
Oh no, go ahead. But,
let's all agree.
Now look, this guy right here, I don't know how he made it to the podcast, but old boy on the left, just watch his body language and the way he look at this young goofball on the right. He's gonna be annoyed as hell at some point. Hilarious.
I cut him off. Yeah,
as black people, let's all agree of something that we feel is black. Let us control that narrative. What black is.
But I don't even think
because of right now, I think we're going off of us.
Black people are not fully, we're not grasping or have one understanding of what blackness is.
Yeah, he must be one of their little nephews or something, little cousins.
No,
that's why I keep bringing it up.
Go ahead, Willie.
Let me ask these questions.
Yeah, he sit like with an insecure, uncomfortable posture.
I'm gonna ask you guys: do you guys consider us as South Sudanese black?
No.
Yeah.
No. Wait. Somebody said no before me. No, I consider you with exactly how you described yourself, bro. South Sudanese. Please, man, I need to be on these panels, but I don't want a whole bunch of. I want to be the only FBA because I want somebody like overriding me and saying some stupid shit. I want to be the only FBA. You could have a whole bunch of black immigrants, Latinos, and Afro-Latinx. I don't care, man. I want to be the only FBA, man. I want nobody saying dumbness, and they trying to validate that person.
Us as South Sudanese black?
No.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Okay, explain why.
Yeah, let's start.
He's a human being, like he said to explain.
You hear this fool? He's a human being. This dude is a fool, man. Yeah, look at old boy on the left. He about to get annoyed.
Itself, he was a human being.
I say yes because one, although you know
Pinky.
we come from different backgrounds, you look like me to a certain extent. Like if you was in a crowd of 50 white folk and it was me and you, I'm finna walk over and talk to you. So that's the black I see in there. Now, in terms of like black being from Sudan or being from Dallas, Texas.
Yeah, but that don't mean he black. That just means that you recognize a man from the African diaspora, and most likely you probably have more in common with him than somebody else. But that might not be true, because unless there's white people in a space, if you're foundation Black American, you just might be able to get along with that white person more than a person. And I'm just being 100% real from my experience, because we live around white folks our whole entire life. We experience them more than people from the diaspora and the continent. So we're going to get along probably faster with a white person over a diaspora. It just depends. It depends. And from the continent, it just depends. But I wouldn't just say because he is from the continent, I'm just going to walk over there and talk to him over everybody. Nah, I'm a little more observant than that.
A, we done been colonized. B, we all had some type of limitations. C, we done been taught some limitations. Damn, we black. No matter how you put that. Now, the food might be different.
No, we ain't black. We just both dark. And we both got African ancestry.
Housing arrangements might be different. But, I mean, some of the same customs carry over cross borders. I mean, it don't matter what you call yourself. Now, you not black if you forget that just because I'm quote unquote, I'm not saying y'all, I'm just putting it out there, because we 3,000 miles away and we don't have the same exact living struggles or the exact same living conditions, that my blackness is less or yours is more regal because you are from where blackness is. That's when you're not black. When you start telling me how I'm not black and we both the same color brown. So
dude, you made no sense to me.
Us all as like, one monolith, because it really is. You know what I mean?
Oh, and that goes back to my point of saying we need to come together and say what blackness is.
Yeah.
As a collective. It's no right or wrong, but we all need to come together and just say this is what black is.
Yeah.
Period.
And have like some
And don't let nobody that's not black control the narrative of what black is.
Yeah, what you mean we all need to come together? Like, what do you mean? You mean like literally every dark people on the planet? Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
So
that's my opinion.
With Drew, you said that you are black as long as you
who invited the little nephew to the damn podcast?
You don't talk down on the like, say for example, an African talking down on the African American experience.
Because at that point you become white, and I don't mean to cut you off, but I just had to say it right there, because now you being like the colonizer, and I know this is
so they are black based on so they are conditionally black. Like, what are we doing, man? So now they're conditionally black. They're black based on a condition. They're not essentially black like you. They are see how confusing it is when you try to like play around with it. Okay, they're black. They're not black. It's real simple. They're not black. They're South Sudanese. I'm black. Real simple. See, it's getting confusing. Well, they're black unless they speak down on Foundation Black Americans, and then they're not black. It's like, okay, that made no sense.
Kind of a fast forward type of conversation. I ain't trying to take us back down memory lane like that unless we all going there. But I mean, we all had the same battles one way or another, whether it's chattel slavery or colonialism for gold and cobalt and whatever.
That ain't the same battle. What the hell?
Well, the mineral.
Yeah.
It's the same principle. So we all have had A and B struggle for one. And for us to continue in 2024, finna be 25, still sitting there saying, my blackness is different because you're from Haiti, or my blackness is different from Jamaica.
Ain't no such thing as blackness. Ain't no such thing as blackness. No such thing as blackness. Black is a proper noun, and it identifies as particular people.
Australia, wherever you from, that's kind of counterproductive at this stage in the game, being so far removed from all that. I guess that's the easy way I could put that.
Black, like in America, is Black Americans. That's how it's just labeled. Like when y'all come over here, that's why some people are like, oh, I ain't black, I'm Nigerian or something, because they know.
So yeah, he kept it real, and they kept cutting him off. He should have been the only FBA there, to be honest. Okay, so he said, yeah, he kept it real. What black is, man?
Black, like in America, is Black Americans.
That's black in America is just Black Americans.
It's just labeled. Like when y'all come over here, that's why some people are like, oh, I ain't black, I'm Nigerian or something, because they know
South Sudanese.
Over here it's one big label, black.
Mm-hmm.
So that label is Black American.
Right.
Right. So that's how I view it.
So do you feel like the label African American that has been designated to like Black American, do you think that's accurate?
Jesse Jackson came up with that, and before that we was black for 450 years before that.
Okay, so this is a shot at revenue, you dig? And maybe a Jamaican dream who don't want to believe black people. When we say, when Jesse Jackson came up with African American, the bulk of us did not use that term. And you keep hearing black people on different podcasts. You even got Mayweather, Smokey Robinson, Raven Simone, Morgan Freeman. You got Cameron. These people do not call themselves FBA. Okay, but all of them reject the African to their Americanness. But tethers, they know better than us. Like we're telling you, growing up in school, around our friends and family and picnics and family reunions, nobody called themselves African American. We just checked that box on a form. But a tether know better than us. So now this guy, I don't know this guy, and he's telling you, yo, that was some Jesse Jackson stuff. Before that, we were just black. Okay. And we were black after that. Just on a form, they forced us to check African American, and if we were trying to get work, some type of benefits or recognition for something, maybe a loan, maybe a car, we had to check black African American, right? They forced us to.
Like that just started.
And I just put it like this: before we know your ethnicity or where you from, your background, if you getting ganged up by somebody that's not of African descent or a black person, I would help you just because we share the same skin tone. That's how we.
This dude talking about fighting. Oh my god!
Look at it. We don't say something that's inside Africa. But what I'm saying is,
because
I'm not letting a white man jump on this brother.
We don't only people for it. So like in Jamaica, it's not the majority.
We don't know where you from anyway.
We're the only people from the slave trade that's not the majority in the countries we went to. We was the only minority. So like in Jamaica, majority black. Yeah. Haiti, majority black.
Ain't that what I be saying? It's just an obvious fact.
So we had to team up in America.
Yeah.
So that's how we kind of look at y'all. We're like, damn, bro, y'all, we the same color. We supposed to be the same team. But then some people delineate like, no, I'm Jamaican or I'm West African.
But that doesn't matter when it comes to.
Yeah, look at this wild coyote right here. Now he's really a Akata. Whatever Akata means, that's him. This is a real Akata right here. This dude is wild, uncivilized, straight savage. And then he's not articulate. He's mumble mouth. He's mush mouth, and he's not making any sense. Listen to him.
I'm Jamaican or I'm West African.
But that doesn't matter when it comes to white versus black. When it comes to that, I'm side with my people.
Of course, that's what I'm saying.
So it don't matter where
they don't have to go through that in Haiti. It's Haitian on Haitian.
But we're all Haitian.
It's different tribes.
You're asking the question.
Go through that in Haiti. It's Haitian on Haitian.
But she's taking it ahead. They said we're all black where we're from. What are you talking about, young Scrappy? Young Scooby Doo?
We're all Haitian.
It's different tribes.
You're asking the question of how you receive it. I'm just telling you, I don't care where you from. When I see that you brown, shit.
Yeah, you
got a partner in crime that you brown wherever we at. That's
how it should be. Honestly, that's how it should be. I don't think that's how it is.
Yes, and that's what we're trying to get to the
solution. Yeah, so we can all kind of have that.
I would have clicked the button where his mic does not work. Like I would have low key shut his mic off. I'm like, okay, this dude is ruining the show. Who invited the little nephew here, man? I guess he didn't want to sit in the car. they had to bring him in.
Mindset, because that's a great framework mindset to have.
I'm helping the black man.
Right. Like that's y'all.
We're gonna go down together fighting. Shit, if we lose, we went down together losing.
So can I ask how you three identify? Because you said like Jesse Jackson came up with that African American term. What would you prefer to be called?
You see now, if y'all notice that they keep talking to the only representative on that panel of FBA. Our talking points, our lineage. Okay, they keep asking him the questions. Not the guy in the suit that be ranting, and not the young little nephew dude. Okay, they're intrigued by the FBA guy. He's the only one giving sensible answers.
I ask how you three identify, because you said like Jesse Jackson came up with that African American term. What would you prefer to be called?
Black American.
Black American. What about you, Drew?
Yeah.
Look, don't even know.
He Black American.
Man.
But he doesn't
now,
even know.
when we go, like I was in the army, I want to go fight. We Americans, but
okay, we're gonna
ethnicity wise, we
What
Black.
would you like to be identified?
I just want to be identified as the Texas nigga.
Okay.
My people are from the plantation of Texas.
Yo, this dude said a Texas ninja. That's what he want to be called, a Texas ninja. Now, this is when a dude right here, then they want to square off with him. This is a disrespectful little nephew. Listen to this guy.
And I'm a nigga. That's just what I want to be identified as.
I think I'm gonna go a little different.
Okay.
Now, not against what my brother's saying,
His
but more
process
so
so
kind of
insecure,
coinciding with. If we go statistically,
17.
only 5% of all the slaves came to America, y'all. 95% went to South America and the Caribbean.
Yep.
5%. And so for us to just believe, not necessarily believe, but go with the flow of, yes, we are African by default. But culturally, we more so indigenous American than anything, because they was not. Thomas Jefferson wanted black folk out of America. So instead of bringing more slaves in, he just enslaved the natives that was already here. So to answer your question, man, I'm just I don't know, man. I'm an American. I call myself American because
I just like to be referred to as the Texas nigga.
My parents not African.
and I'm cool with that because I know the jacket I'm gonna wear with that.
Yeah. Look, but the dude on the left just, you see how frustrated he is. Like, he's like, yo, man, shut up, man. Cut this dude mic off. He just cutting people off, saying the most ignorant stuff possible. Yo, look at the dude with the bald head posture. Look at his gestures when his little nephew dude just started ranting again about the Texas ninja rhetoric. Listen to it. Watch his body. Look at his body language.
I call myself American because
I just like to be referred to as the Texas nigga.
My parents not African.
and I'm cool with that because I know the jacket I'm gonna wear with that. Being the Texas nigga, I come from a slave tradition. I mean, that's what it is.
So let me ask you, because the term foundational Black American or ADOS has been African descendants of slavery has been really popularized within the last, I would say, year to 2 years.
Pandemic.
Can you guys share a little bit about what that movement is?
Wait. What? Kind of like wait. What was the historical?
What is there within the last, I would say, African descendants of slavery has been really popularized within the last, I would say, year to 2 years.
Yeah, you got your dates wrong, ma'am. This is only 10 months ago. Ma'am, that was popularized, you could say, for the last 6 to 5 years. But I'll be humble and say at least 4 years for sure. Okay, I'll be humble and say 4.
Can you guys share a little bit about what that movement is and kind of like what is their goal or what are they trying to achieve?
Well, me personally, I'm not familiar with the movement. My first time hearing it was just you saying it. I don't know what that looks like.
Okay.
Because I've been black my whole life and been getting discriminated my whole life. So what does that look like?
It just
this dude is just, bro, you just said absolutely nothing. You just said you don't know. And I talk to people like this in many circles. And I just politely say, bro, you started off the sentence by saying you don't know. So why are you still talking? Like, how you don't know, but you have so much to say afterwards? Normally, when people don't know something, they stay quiet. Like that's exactly how I would say it, because I'll be so pissed off. Like, yo, you just said you don't know, so why are you still talking? Like, they be ready to kill me or beat me up. I'd be like, yo, you just say you don't know, so why you still talking, man? You don't know. So yeah, you should have nothing to say about that.
A title on our culture, Black Americans.
But when you
we say foundational, we're starting so the country was founded in 1776. Slave trade and all that been going on since the 1500s. So we've been here, let's say 200 years before America was even born.
Right.
So when we say we foundational, that's we've been here since the birth of the nation, built the White House twice. You know what I'm saying? Like, we built everything in this country. Mm-hmm. So when we say we foundational, that's like we built the country. We're more American than anybody. We fought in every.
He's the only one giving sensible answers that's representing FBA to the fullest. Everybody else is just on some old, you know what I mean? These ladies got to know now going forward. Like, vet your guests a little better. Like give them like a quiz sheet, you know, like, hey, what do you think about this? Like short answers. And that guy with the white hoodie should have never been on this podcast.
War in this country.
My man said the first time I heard that term is when you said it just now. That's when they should ask him, okay, you got to step down. Like you're not ready for this. You're not mature enough for this conversation.
And that's a title only what? The WASP, which is white Anglo-Saxon Protestant white folks. We the only one. We the first person to take a bullet for this country. Crispus Attucks was a black man.
Right.
So
what do you say?
we have a writ the WASP, which is white Anglo-Saxon Protestant white folks.
Protestant.
We the only one. We the first person to take a bullet for this country. Crispus Attucks was a black man.
Right.
So we have a rich tradition down here.
Yeah, he's talking about the Revolutionary War. To pop off the Revolutionary War, I think a British soldier shot a Foundation Black American, and that's what popped it off.
Well, not down here, but in America.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we say foundational. Just put a title on it. Because growing up, I mean, we just knew we was black,
right?
Yeah.
But it was just like we knew our culture and everything, but we just didn't have a name for it. Like people like, oh, I'm from Nigeria. We like, well, shoot, I'm from Texas. I'm American, but like we just didn't have a name for it. So that's where FBA is. It's not like a code or anything. It's just putting a label on our culture.
So do you all believe that you're native to America, or just
I believe that
your ancestors have been here so long?
Some of us came on ships, some of us already over here.
Yeah, the majority of us though, we's already here.
Because we had, then I think, like he said with Thomas Jefferson thing, then we started having this thing called breeding farms in America. So that's where, we kind of get the history kind of.
And can we also put this out there? There is no Native Americans because everybody came to America. There was no human beings in America.
Why do you feel that way?
It wasn't
what I'm trying to state is when we say financial Black Americans, meaning y'all were here before. I'm agreeing with that.
Mm-hmm.
But when what a lot of the arguments will be like, well, why you're not like Native Americans? They were here. I was like, well, the Native Americans immigrated here too.
Native Americans are black.
At the beginning.
The little dude is crazy. But it looks like the two Africans over there felt like, and look at the other guy. They felt like, because the conversation was like they're really there for no reason. They might just get refreshments and water and coffee for folks, because like they really just sit on the couch. So now they had to force their way into the conversation, because really, like, the ladies just really wanted to talk to the three foundational Black Americans.
Of the 1500s, like he stated, when the slaves were started to come, 10% of Black Americans that was already in America were not slaves. So even at that point, those people are part of that history as well. So I hate to say that the history started with slavery, because there was other Black people here that's already trading, merchants, etc., that was apart from that slavery. So this is why I agree with the financial Black aspect of, like, yes, y'all are part of this.
Who said financial Black Americans? I hope I ain't say that.
Y'all should be called Native and be part of the history of America, instead of being cast aside and be put in this box where, like, y'all just came here because of the slave trade.
I think Willie has a different perspective. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that.
It wasn't me. He did. I remember, 'cause I watched some of this already. He did say financial Black. Yeah, these guys are hilarious. Yeah,
been seeing a lot of that lately. I think there's a certain the FBA adults movement. I don't think it's all of them, and that's what's really confusing about the whole movement, is because it's very wide range, and I think there's been a lot of.
When you say wide range,
because some of them are like saying that Africans are they should go back to Africa, rebuild their country or whatever. They should they shouldn't be here, or they're not helping us, or like Obama is not the first Black president. Things like that, where it's like and they're like, oh, you're not Black. They don't say you're not Black American. They say you're not Black. Yeah, you're not. So
that's what they mean, though.
Yeah.
So like, if I go to Kenya, would they consider me Kenyan?
But
no,
they would not say that you're not black.
No, yeah, but
but you're not Kenyan.
I think it's crazy to look at somebody like that looks like me in the face and say you're not black.
Do you believe that we're not native to America?
No, I think the confusion is
the little boy is just like really like somebody really ask him, hey man, just step aside for a second, brother. We'll get back to you in an hour. Like he's really messing up the conversation, and the fact that anybody's like responding to him, like they're just helping him mess up the conversation. Okay, so for one, you're not black. Okay, you just said you're Sudanese, South Sudanese. Okay, so which one are you? Then he'll say, I'm both. Okay, so your flag, what country represents this flag? And I'll point at his. He's gonna say South Sudanese. Okay, could I just say this? Could I say this is the black flag? Like, would that be correct? You did. So you're adding black South Sudanese, but there's nothing in your country. There's nothing in the language. There's nothing on your flag that says black South Sudanese. You're making that up, man. You're literally making that up. You dig? Our forms and stuff actually says black on it. We're called Black Americans. You dig? Like our country knows us as Black Americans. You're not known as black South Sudanese in your country. And nobody's known as black Jamaicans in their country or anything else. You're known as just Jamaicans, Haitians, Dominican. You dig? That's all you're known as, man. Like, we got to stop the cap. We're the only people in our home country that's known as black. Like, come on, like, let's stop just lying. That's why I say I just want an honest conversation. You're not black, okay? We called y'all black because we were trying to, because we're all inclusive. We're all inclusive people. So some of y'all feel like y'all black because we called y'all black, but we didn't know it was going to spiral out of control. We didn't know y'all really was going to believe that. Like, yeah, we like we say brother, like we'll see a white person or Latino, we be like, yo, man, what's up, brother? But you're not like our brother. Like, you feel me? But that term came from us calling other foundational Black Americans brother. You dig? And because we call ourselves brothers so much that when we talk to other ethnic groups, that's like deserving of our respect, we'll call them brother, like an extension. But you're not really our brother like our brother. You dig? If that make any sense. So the same thing with black. Yo, we call white people black. We say, yo, he black, yo. We call Latinos black. But are they black? Like, come on, man. We said Bill Clinton was the first black president. Y'all forget? So we call everybody black. It's an extension of love. Like you're that's our way of inviting you to the cookout. But that don't mean you're actually black.
Etymology of the word native. Native meaning
there's
only a few native people, like in East Africa. Those they grew up in that. As far as like evolution wise. My fault.
Christine got to read a message from
because I want to involve the TikTok. So Yara Monet, who is African American, she said we are not native to America. Shaking my head.
Yo, he said that's like getting ice from a He said that's like getting ice from a microwave. Yo, you wrong, yo. Yo, we are the funniest people, man.
Are descendants of slavery, and that's okay. Any pushback on
slaves
that?
That's the biggest mix.
All right, look, I had enough. I gotta write these ladies. Hold on.
Exception
I'll
in
give you
America.
like this much. I'll give you this. And it's also it's about what you choose to buy into at the end of the day. I mean, it really is, because we wasn't there to count them slaves and see where they went. But based on what we can kind of gather from history, if we want to just take it real literal, on the whole eastern coast of America, from here to New York, is thousands of pyramids. Now, slaves did not build those pyramids.
Oh my God, this dude say pyramids. Now, what a connection he about to make.
Native Americans build those pyramids. It's a possibility. My point is, if you have a percentage of slaves coming into a country, in order for them to continue to people and populate as slaves, you need a secondary population. They cannot just procreate off 19 slaves in 1619 can't make 3-some million people. It's just mathematically impossible.
A lot of prisoners of wars.
And if we look at Columbus, Pizarro, Cortez, and we read those readings of the early Spanish explorers, meaning the ones who come through Texas in 1527, Texas history.
1519.
Okay, they have written about people black in color, 6 feet in stature, long woolly hair in texture and characteristics. So I mean, what do you call black if you're not already tan, dark skin, melanated, curly hair, brown eyes, strong? I mean, if they are writing about this hundreds of years before the slave trade, that is a mixture of race. Now, we can say we come from Africa. Yes, I do believe a percentage of us do have African slave ancestry, but the percentage of Native American ancestry is also understated. I'm not saying that we're not descended from no type of slave. I'm not saying that because it's almost illogical considering, you know, the climate of the time. But it also does lend your ear to think about the people who was here prior to slaves coming and the fact that they were also involved in slavery, ran away, created maroon races.
Yeah, so the
What do you guys
the question
say
is,
to DNA then?
The question is, like, even those people who were here before slavery, do you think they were not descendants? They were not from.
They were directly
from Africa.
We understood that part of it.
Still, they still have an African origin.
We're not denying that, though.
Okay.
Well, we are not
because like when I heard African, like a Native American tribe, I thought like
Indian.
They've been here for the Indians that were here for thousands of years.
Well, what's the time limit to be a native? Because everybody moves from everywhere.
And like I would think like
that's
a good point.
I see a lot of comments say that y'all are Indian.
What is the time limit though to be native though? That's a great point.
Why I say we cannot use the word native because it has to be there's the term.
So if I migrate from Africa, are Nigerians native to their land? Because that country just got established in 1960.
Because we can go through their history and find where they came from, which is in the Great Rift of East Africa. This is what I'm starting to state is like as far as evolution wise, nobody's native to anything as far as Earth. Earth is
everybody migrated to
culturally
everything.
Everybody moves around.
Right.
So when people start sitting in one spot and say this is our land, the Aboriginals in Australia, they're not native to Australia. They came from somewhere else and went to Australia. Everybody, us human beings, this is what made us beat all the other species of humans. We moved and we was able to adapt. And that's and I think
what are we doing right now? All right, so I wrote the ladies, all right, because I had enough. I had enough of the Thai guy and the white hoodie guy, like just really ruining the podcast. I think the ladies are actually decent people. Like I don't believe I didn't see tether like from this podcast. I didn't see tether on the ladies. They seem to be very genuine with their questions and their responses and dig. So I wrote them like, hey man, like I would love for you to come to my podcast or you can invite me to your podcast. And I said, I want you to ask me the same questions you asked to Black Americans and you can ask even more questions. I said, I believe I could represent FBA talking points and what we stand on more closely than the guys that was there. No disrespect. So let's see if they reach out to me. I gave them my email and I think it'd be more educational. I think she needed one FBA. She got 3 on there, only one is serious. The other 2 are kind of like clowns.
I think that's when we start putting these labels
like native.
All it does is just separate people.
But like so native really isn't a thing.
But my only issue with that is like
is no such thing as
yes, if we all go back, everybody originated from Africa. Yes, if we go back enough.
Yeah. Oh
but
my
we
God,
all
everybody's African stuff.
Native is a made up term.
But we all know there's some people who spent thousands of years in Africa. There's some people who spent thousands of years in Europe, in Asia, and in the Americas before we started actually crossing seas and interacting with each other. You know, so because if that wasn't the case, we would all be the same tone. But obviously, we have different characteristics because we spend that much time away from each other for thousands of years. So we've kind of had to have an identity that you can look at somebody and be like, you know.
And you have to adapt.
You can be like, you know, without them having to tell you, you can be like, this person is probably Asian, or this person is probably Native American or so. Yeah, like we can go back enough. We're all Africans. But my question is, with those Black people that were here.
There you go, trying to sneak in some more. We are Africans. Oh boy, man. Will we stop?
are we saying that these people were here thousands of years before
All right.
slavery, or
we would never know that answer?
So
to be honest,
I got two answers for you. I got two answers for you. You said were they here?
Yeah, that young punk has no answers, but he do a lot of talking. Look what he said. He never got answers.
I got two answers for you.
Here thousands of years before
All right.
slavery, or
we would never know that answer.
So
to be
I
honest,
got two answers for you. I got two answers for you.
My man said we would never know the answer. Like, he's a guy with nothing to say, no knowledge, no answers, but he's talking as much as everybody else. How is that possible? Jesse Lee Peterson would say, amazing. He has so much to say to not have answers. From his own mouth, he's saying, I don't have answers, but he has as much to say as anybody else. That guy is really annoying.
You said were they here before slavery? How you end that question? You had
no. I said, like, how long were they here before slavery? Are you guys saying that they were here for thousands of years before slavery?
It's two kind of theories, and I ain't gonna try to advertise, but it's in this book I brought up here just because I knew he was talking about something historical. It's called The First Americans Were African, and then I passed it around if you want to look at it, bro, or whatever. But it's two movements we can look towards to answer your question. Now, is anybody right in this? Let's just start there, because I don't want this to sound like no divisive he say, she say, we say type of conversation. We just spin game.
Yeah.
You got two movements. Have you heard of Mansa Musa?
Yeah.
Mansa Musa is said to have taken 30,000 ships to North America. That was in 1300s. Slavery starts the next 100 years, maybe the next 200 years.
North America.
Yeah.
That's what they say.
I've never heard that.
Now,
Columbus actually had a West African guy to.
Yeah, my man said, how many ships did he say? How many ships was that?
You know, that's because I don't want this to sound, and then I pass it around if you want to look at it, bro, or whatever. But it's two movements we can look towards to answer your question. Now, is anybody right in this? Let's just start there, because I don't want this to sound like no divisive he say, she say, we say type of conversation. We just spin game.
Yeah.
You got two movements. Have you heard of Mansa Musa?
Yeah.
Mansa Musa is said to have taken 30,000 ships to North America.
What? I thought he said that. All right. So without even like wasting my time Googling that sounds like a bunch of BS. I wouldn't even waste my time. 30,000 ships. So that means he had about 1 million people on those damn ships.
That was in 1300s. Slavery starts the next 100 years, maybe the next 200 years.
North America.
Yeah.
That's what they say.
I've never heard that.
Now,
Columbus actually had a West African guy to navigate.
That I would have to.
I've never
This
heard
now,
that.
check me out though. Check me out. Check me out. All I'm gonna say is when you talk about Mansa Musa and the type of traveling he was doing back then, and the amount of wealth he had in 1300s world back then, being the center of all the trade, there is possibility that he could furnish a fleet that size. And they did have circumnavigation skills in Africa that a lot of other countries did not have. So when you think about the world back then, you got to think about it in a different term, because they doing that math by hand. They tracking them stars by hand. And so if there was a possibility of anybody getting over there, pre-ancient or not, outside of the Chinese, it would have been them and the Egyptians. Now, secondarily, which is before what I just said, which I should have stated at first, y'all know why we can't go into.
So let me get this straight. He said the Egyptians too. Okay, so the Egyptians came over here and Mansa Musa came over here. 30,000 ships. That's what that book says, bro? Yeah. Yo, put that book away, man. That sounds crazy.
To the Grand Canyon in Arizona, got too much black people in it. It's coffins, it's sarcophagus, it's mummies. Some mummies have been found with traces of chocolate and cocaine in the sarcophagus in Egypt. And that's because cocaine is native to this side of the world. But, you know, that's up for you.
Oh, my God. Is that the conclusion? I don't know about that. That's too loud.
Your own research. Everything is circumstantial. If you want to believe into that, that's your game. Hold on, real quick. If you want to believe it to it, that's your game. But you got to think about it.
He finally shut the little punk down. Look, the little punk was going to talk. He said, wait, real quick. Somebody finally silenced that punk.
You know, that's up for your own research. Everything is circumstantial. If you want to believe into that, that's your game. Hold on, real quick. If you want to believe,
the little punk posture is so insecure, low self-esteem vibes all day long.
Leave it to it. That's your game. But you got to think about it, man. if Africa is as civilized, is as functional, is as highly functioning as it was for thousands and thousands of years before the introduction of alcohol and rum.
To watch, you got the cat. This dude said 30,000 years. Yeah, what's the author of that book again? I guarantee you the author is a Pan-Africanist. I guarantee you. That's something, that book sounds something like a Pan-Africanist would write.
And guns, then you have to kind of lend your mind to the fact that somebody was smart enough to, damn, let's go that way. Or,
FBA Red Dog, man, peace.
Those stars look the same on this side of the world as this side. And it's a reason why the 3 pyramids at Giza match, you know, certain things over here in America, Washington, D.C., namely. So,
yeah, this guy went into full conspiracy theory, yeah.
So, I mean, everybody is, in fact, African. We all are descendants from some African somewhere. We'd be a fool to say we wasn't. However, we just differentiating in the fact that there is a population of Black Americans descended from Africans who had lived in America.
Hold her. The Mandalorian said, that's not even a story. The story says the Mansa Musa brother came over here, Abu Bakr. Yeah, this dude said 30,000 ships. I'm still stuck on that number. He didn't say 30 ships, 15 ships, 3 ships. He said 30,000. And what did they do when they came over here? Because they about 1 million deep. They came over here in 30,000 ships to do what? To build some flimsy pyramids? Yeah, that can't be the reason. They had to do something. They had to leave something great over here. That many people, they must have built, you know, civilization. Like they built things. They did something great over here. But you can't just say they just built some flimsy pyramids and went back or did the Olmecs. Like it's something great would have to happen with that many ships. Something great would have to happen, man. Like they left a UFO behind, you know, something. You can't just tell me that many people came and they just left and nothing was happened productive. Something we could see today. Come on, man. That's wild.
For hundreds of thousands of years.
I got a question for you.
And then your slaves come in. That's what I was taught. That's what I was read. Now, you know, books is open for you like it's open for me.
Yes. I have a question for you. I had to cut you off too. This is my question, right? How does this conversation?
Yeah, this dude cut everybody off. This wild dude, man. This is the real Akata. Like this is the first. I never met an Akata before, but this is the first Akata I ever met.
I have a question for you. I had to cut you off too. This is my question, right? How does this conversation advance us now? Currently, we would have to be crazy.
Yeah, he just shut down old boy to his right.
Crazy people to believe that we can figure out what happened that many years ago.
Exactly.
We're all going to be sitting here going back and forth.
I think the
as of
question
today,
is important.
2024, how do we move forward?
Yeah, he just yelling over everybody, yeah.
As Black people, we all identify as Black, regardless, right? Or do y'all not identify as Black?
Oh no, we identify as Black.
We all can say.
Okay, yeah, ladies, you do until I get on your podcast or you come on mine. Okay. I don't think you're gonna identify as Black, or I don't think you will want to after that. Okay, I understand why you're doing it because you want to join the cookout, and you are invited, but you can be invited as South Sudanese women. You ain't gotta be invited as Black South Sudanese women.
Together in this room, this is us. This is our people in here. This is our people. How do we move forward? That's my problem. Like with Black America and with Africans.
Yeah, this dude is wild.
What is the end goal?
I think we should give our Haitian.
My Haitian brother. I didn't know you.
I think we are.
My Haitian brother. How do we move forward?
Yo, look how he looking at him. Yo, my man looking like, yo, you are out of control. Yo, that should have been a thumbnail, yo, right there. That should have been a thumbnail. Yo, my man looking like, are you serious, dude? What did you drink? What pill did you pop? What scissor? What K2 did you smoke? Why are you out of control asking stupid questions?
what is the end goal?
I think we should give our Haitian.
My Haitian brother. I didn't know you. My Haitian brother. How do we move forward? We can't keep going back to the past.
Yeah, we're gonna stop.
But we can't keep going back to the past. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and I think that's the whole point of this conversation that we're having today. But I think before we can start getting to solutions, we first have to iron out kind of what the grievances are and just get some understanding, because we.
Yo, FBA Red Dogs. Where Greg Anthony? Why is Greg Anthony in that? Where do you get that cheap suit from? Greg Anthony, yo, you are hilarious. Yo, he looks just like Greg Anthony. Oh my God, yeah, Shorty wild disrespectful. He's a real Akata. I heard that name been thrown at us, but I reject it. Except if you say he's an Akata, I will agree. That's an Akata. Yo, dude is wild. I ain't claiming him, yo.
We've seen a lot on foundational Black Americans, or some people saying that they have nothing to do with Africa. So we're just trying to get some type of understanding and figure out where does everybody lie so that we can move forward, come together and come to a common understanding.
I do have a question as well. Yes. Okay, yes. Can I ask y'all a question? Because I think the pushback with the foundational Black Americans and kind of the ideology is that FBAs think that feel like they're better. Like the reason why they separate themselves from Africa is because there's like you're ashamed of the history of Africa or what Africa represents.
And I want to add to that.
I want to ask,
when I was a good question that came from that video you sent, Calvin, from the podcast, when they were saying, why do we not look at Jamaicans and say y'all are African, or look at Haitians and say y'all are African? A lot of people are saying, why do we specifically always try to push that on to African Americans and be like, you guys are African?
The reason why we get to push forward, I ain't gonna say push back, but we get pushed that direction is because, like, you can see how even though there have been African countries that received their independence, it's still a level of, let me say, I can say that without sounding, American. It's still a level of traditional Africanism even in their independence, if that makes sense. Like, even though there are.
So yeah, he on some. Okay, I peeped him. That's ladies and gentlemen, that's a Pan-Africanist. That's why he all over the place. That's a Pan-Africanist. He said, "Well, how can I say that without sounding too American?" And earlier he said the book he got up there is a book saying Africans were in America before everybody. Some bullshit like that. I don't know.
Independent countries of Africa that have broken from colonial powers, they still have a level of Africanism or historical Africanness. I don't know how to put that. Yeah. In the culture, we get looked at differently because we didn't necessarily defeat our oppressor. We got out of slavery a little bit, but we kind of walking hand in hand with our oppressor still to this day. And so I think some of the pushback that we get is because y'all have not shaken off that white man and have not gone back to tribal or traditional roots. When we have faced the fact of the culture we have created within that type of
oppression
is what we go back to. Yeah, and so we did it differently. It's not to say, because if you look at it,
you don't think we would have did the same thing if we was the majority?
Yeah, we would have did way better. But the difference is you got a little country like Haiti. You got a little country like Haiti.
I want to bring it to
who has become who is the only country to really officially fully throw off their European power. We see where that lands them.
How do they do that? They in a begging state perpetually. Dude, yeah. Old boy broke down that dude. What's that dude name? Frank Zanuck. Yeah, he did a good job breaking that down. I'll look into it more in depth. I do. I'll fact check old boy and make sure everything's. But it sounded like it made sense. So I'm not gonna stamp it. I'm gonna just say it sounded like it made sense the way he broke it down.
However, they the ones that did it though. Yeah.
But they did it.
And so we get looked at differently in America because we seen as, we kind of go along with the bull instead of, getting off the bull.
It's a simple numbers game.
Yeah. Right. So let's take it to the Haitians.
Yeah. And I you have something to add on to that, Kelvin, just before we move on?
Oh no, I just to me, I feel like if we was the majority, like how like I said, in Jamaica, you got the majority are black. Haiti, the majority are black. Like all those, a majority black came from black slaves or whatever. America's the only one that we wasn't a majority. We was always the lesser one,
and
minority.
I think Africans and
so it's not
other
like we
people,
going along. We wasn't We wasn't cool with slaves.
But at this point,
And,
who's
other,
going
and
along?
Africans forget that. Africans forget that there's a difference.
The old boy with the tie that suspected Pan-Africanist. That was some slick stuff. We were going along with white supremacy. Like, are you serious, bro? Like, come on, man.
Well, cultural, political.
But let's talk about the Haitian Revolution, because when we talk about the slave trade and what you were just saying, how Haiti was the only black nation that was able to fight off like the oppressors and gain their independence. I really want to take it to the Haitians on the panel. Sometimes when we're having these conversations online, African American or foundational black people will say, if y'all countries were so great, why y'all over here, right?
That's what I'm gonna
let you answer that. But I really agree with you. I dislike America. That's why
and we got to get deeper into that.
Yeah, that dude is really, really wild, man. This could have been a decent discussion if that young pup, if somebody's nephew wasn't on there. This could have been a decent. This is like one of the best conversations on Diaspora Wars I watched, because it seemed like everybody is kind of sold on what they believe in. I don't see too many cooning. I don't see too many tethering. It seems like everybody legitimately and genuinely believe what they're saying. So this is probably one of the best diaspora conversations I ever watched on YouTube. I must say that.
And what I'm saying is, you have all these different nationalities in this one room right now.
So
what are we gonna do differently? We can't keep harping on the past. We wasn't there for the past. We don't have a statistic for the past. We are in the now. What are we gonna do now?
My fault. My screen frozen. Yeah.
They brought.
Yeah, they straight sidestep.
In Haiti.
All right, for the past. What are we gonna do differently? We can't keep harping on the past. We wasn't there for the past. We don't have a statistic for the past. We are in the now. What are we gonna do now?
All right, so Veronica, we're gonna go ahead and give you the full.
Damn. All right, Veronica. Yo, dude, they're Euro stepping you, my boy. They're avoiding, but they should have been stopped talking to him. Now they're doing what I suggested they should have done earlier. Once he started saying I don't know and kept talking, everybody should have started Euro stepping him, just speaking around. Let him just go and just speaking around. So they're finally doing it.
Since Calvin, you beautifully brought in Haiti and like how they had their own Haitian revolution, and we want the Haitians.
Much respect to them.
Yeah, much for like literally hats off, and we want Austin and Veronica to maybe touch on it and kind of speak.
I wonder if there's, because this microphone is like I'm trying to boil some water for some coffee. Yeah, I'll just Google some wireless microphones. They're like cheap. So some of that super chat money I'm gonna throw toward the wireless microphone that I can hold. I don't want the one in your shirt, even though they might be good. I don't know. Maybe they might be good. The one in your shirt. I don't know. But I be seeing podcasters always holding them. That's why I don't want to sit here and hold a little microphone. That looks goofy when people do that. But I'm doing it. That's why my computer freezing in the background.
On the experience of like how that affects you today, because the effects of colonialism and even like going through something that's so traumatic can affect the diaspora today. Yes.
And do you guys feel any connection to the African continent? I think
No,
that's
I don't.
important.
I was trying to say, I wonder if I could. There's an app where your phone can be a microphone. That'd be pretty dope.
At this point in my life, no.
Well,
I don't.
no, Veronica.
You're good.
Yeah, look, they asked a question and a young guy had to say something, dude. And it's always, I don't know, no, I don't. It's always something where he doesn't have any information to give.
It can affect the diaspora today. Yes.
And do you guys feel any connection to the African continent? I think
No,
that's
I don't. At this point in my life, no. I don't.
Veronica. You're good.
Go ahead.
Yeah, but
yeah, I mean, if you don't already know or you should know, the Haitians were the first and only, but the first Black slave revolts against the French Revolution. But even with that, it took the U.S. probably another 60 years or so to even recognize that Haitians decided that this was, our country. So
yeah, because they was more like, are you sure? Are you sure you want to do this by yourself? Are you sure you want to run this country? Are you sure you want to do this? Because we see where you're going. You're going to the ground. You're going down. Mary J. Blige style. We see where you're going. You're going down. You sure you don't want no colonial help, guidance, and you know what I mean, to help you? Nah, we good. We good. Okay. 200 years later, they're eating cats and mud cakes.
So it definitely, I mean, with the U.S. just being involved in every country's business, definitely has an impact even to this.
Always blame the U.S. and that's what these immigrants do too. They run here, they come here, which is interesting. They flee here for safety. They don't go to France. Now, France is the one that enslaved them. France is the one who they fought in the rebellion. France is the one that killed Toussaint. France is what that undermined them and pretty much sanctioned them. France is responsible for all of Haiti failures, but somehow they could fix their face to blame America, but then take their butt right over here and live in America, which is hilarious. Like, why would you go live with the people who supposedly crashed your economy?
This day of, I mean, we see it in the news with the whole eating cats, Haitians eating, and even before that.
You heard the little young nephew? He said eating cats, and she wasn't talking about that. Eating cats. Your young dude is wild, bro.
Definitely has an impact even to this day of, I mean, we see it in the news with the whole eating cats, Haitians eating, and even before that, AIDS, saying Haitians were the ones who brought AIDS over, and I'm sure even before that. So
that's true. That they did say that, but is it false? Now I don't know. I never researched that. I do know Africans did it, bro. You know, HIV everywhere, but I do know Haitians were blamed. But I never researched was there any truth to that, and I think I'm gonna do that in the background right now.
There is a drawback, and I mean, kind of like you said, we did it our own way by fighting for a decade until revolution happened. But I don't think it's something that's even talked about in comparison to other revolutions.
No, because you did it and you failed. Your revolution was the worst revolution ever, like the results afterwards. You guys, nobody's ever going to talk about that as a blueprint for Black power. No.
Because of the fact that
you won.
Other slaves, they did not want other slaves to know that, oh, you have the power to do this.
And you guys...
To do what? To do what? To be independent and then get blocked from all the resources of the world, not resources, but blocked from all of access to other country economies, other country exports. I don't even, a lot of them don't know how much of an L that was. Matter of fact, I'm going to research that too in the background. I'm going to research the HIV thing. Then I'm going to research what went wrong with Haiti and what should they have done. What alternative they could have done other than a revolt, a rebellion.
Guys fought off three different colonial powers?
I believe two.
Okay, so it was like French and Spanish.
And they made an example out of them to show all the other slaves around the world.
They punished them, right?
Yeah, they punished them. They put them in amount of debt that like decapitated the country for
to present day
all this, to the issues that they have now. And I feel like Haitian is still being used as an example of like this is what's gonna happen if you are as a
Hey, bro. That they're not an example of what's going to happen, bro. Every country that was colonized is no longer colonized. They all got their independence. You dig? So Haiti is not an example of no country today on how to get from under the thumb of white people. Nobody's under the thumb of white folks anymore. Not as a colonizer. No country, no African country today is being colonized. So no, Haiti is not using an example because nobody's being colonized. Everybody has gotten their freedom by now.
Like as I would say, uppity nigga. Like you're trying to you're trying to like think like you're big. We're gonna show an example out of you, and everybody's gonna see what happens to you. so that they'll be scared to try to like
uprise.
to from the colonialism to that level. With Haitians being here, I feel like there's been an anti-immigrant sentiment that's contributing to the issue between foundational Black Americans and Africans who are coming here, especially recently, because you see a lot of that. Because I feel like there's people who are like that's how you see like there's actually a growing number of Black people who are supporting Trump because they're becoming anti-immigrant and they want to separate themselves from the other.
Okay, you see how he slickly threw in FBA? Yeah, he was dying to do that. It just all roads come back to blaming FBAs, which is the topic. The topic is, can they survive without FBA in their mouth, their title topics? And the answer is overwhelmingly no. Now is, hey, they supporting Trump. Yo, so you really think, a South Sudanese guy, you really think Black people, FBAs, were supporting Trump so Trump can affect Haitians' immigration status? You think, I mean, like, that got to be the most, like, that statement is probably worse than anything that little nephew dude said. So, Foundation Black Americans, we foreseen if Trump wins, he's going to, for sure, go after Haitians' immigration status. Dude, source up, man. What receipts you got for that one? Just projection, like that. Just hate. That's just hate.
The Black foundation of Black Americans and Africans who colonialism to that level. With Haitians being here, I feel like there's been an anti-immigrant sentiment that's contributing to the issue between foundational Black Americans and Africans who are coming here, especially recently, because you see a lot of that. Because I feel like there's people who are like that's how you see like there's actually a growing number of Black people who are supporting Trump because they're becoming anti-immigrant and they want to separate themselves from the other Black immigrants to be like, no, we're not immigrants. You're from Haiti, or you're from Africa. You're from this. So like, we're not like you're not like us. We're not like you. Go back to your country, type of shit. I feel like the Republicans.
Is that what we really say? Come on, again, like, why they just can't represent our views correctly? Why they always gotta lie and make us seem like we're just insensitive, all this stuff? Why oh shit.
And conservative movement is trying to dig into the African American community to get them to be anti-immigrant, and I think the division between FBA and Africans in general is a part of that. But I don't think that's everybody who's in FBA. I feel like a lot of people who are in FBA are welcoming of Black people. They're like, as long as you come in and you support, like. But there's also a certain minority group that I've seen who are like, go back to where you came from, go back to your country.
If you go back 100 years, 1924, our four prominent leaders was W.E. Du Bois, Frederick Douglass, Booker T. Washington, and Marcus Garvey. They all had different viewpoints, but the one thing they did agree with for Black Americans was no immigration, anti-immigration, because that would put Black Americans in the underclass. Because we all seen how when immigrants come to the country, they elevate them over us. So once we don't have any immigration, if you look at the statistics, you don't have no immigration, Black American rise. So that's why you had that sentiment like, hey, you know what? Don't close the border, stop all this, man, because we can keep pushed to the side. You know what I'm saying? So like that's where you getting kind of that pushback. And this has been going on hundreds of years ago. Like as soon as we got out of Reconstruction, the new immigration, they got millions and millions of land grants and
Ellis
stuff.
Island.
Everything. And we got pushed to the side. Then another mass immigration.
And that's why
pushed to the side.
But my
It's just like,
sentiment is,
nah, bro,
we shouldn't be trying to find a common ground.
Oh.
We
I thought
shouldn't
you was
be.
about unity.
Baby, just listen to what I'm saying. You should embrace me the same way I embrace you as a human.
Yes.
But to try to collide the two and make them work, we need to stop that. Period. It's okay.
Du Bois was Haitian. His father was Haitian.
But that's okay.
Du Bois is a Haitian
Marcus Garvey
last
was
name.
Jamaican.
What I'm saying is now,
It's French.
2021.
What? Hold on.
Somebody said he was not
Period. We keep going away from that.
Someone said he
keep talking about
was.
this
Someone
history.
said he was not anti-immigration.
Well, it's that you can't. He wasn't anti-immigration.
But he know it was the betterment
because
for Black
he was trying to
Americans.
send us to Sierra Leone. He was trying to go to Canada with the Niagara Convention, and Marcus Garvey had a Back to Africa movement with a White Star
Black
ship,
Expo.
or whatever the name of the shit was, Red Star, Black Star,
Black
whatever.
Star.
No, Black Star, yeah.
But I think one of the reasons why Malcolm X was killed is because he was trying to put all the brown nations' colonial and racist issues into the United Nations, I believe it was. And at that point in time, it was gaining momentum. You had Castro. You had, I can't remember the man, Prince Farad or Fahad, something in the 60s in Egypt or one of them places over there, man. But anyhow, moral of the story is we have tried the Unite way. Now I can say we, but it has been tried. Pan-Africanism in America.
It started in America. We start reaching out.
And Pan-Africanism, I think what my brother
who
was
was
trying
the
to say
leader,
is,
like who started?
What I'm trying to say is, how
Marcus
do we
Garvey,
win?
he started
How
that
do
in
we
America.
win?
He left Jamaica. And
How do we win now?
Hold on.
hold on. But he came to Jamaica. I mean, not Jamaica. He came from Jamaica to America and started the Pan-African movement. So, like,
The video would stop while I'm making coffee. Like, come on, man. I'm like, are you serious? I'm over making coffee and the video just stops. Now I can't even run over here and play it. But what the hell are they talking about? Yeah, I'm in the kitchen. Like, I hope the chat is filleting these guys. What did they talk? They said the most prominent leaders was Frederick Douglass, W. Du Bois, and Marcus Garvey. I'm like, what the? So old boy was almost right. He just said the wrong names. So W. Du Bois was a Pan-Africanist, but he was pro civil rights activism first. Okay, so I don't think he was an immigration restrictionist. He just said the wrong names. Frederick Douglass was. Okay, Booker T. Washington was. So everybody else was pretty much, except for Pan-Africanists. So if they were a Pan-Africanist, they weren't really a restrictionist, immigration restrictionist. But if they were not a Pan-Africanist, they were definitely immigration restrictionists because they seen immigrants coming over and we got to compete with them for jobs. And the dude was right. Also, America is going to, that would be their excuse to not deal with our problems and issues that America caused. They'll just influx the community and the country with immigrants. And now they got to address immigration issues along with civil rights issues, which you see right now. Dig? There's no more about justice for Black folks and too much injustice right now for Black folks. Everything's about these illegal immigrations and these illegal immigrants who are getting driver licenses and commercial licenses and killing everybody on the road. So I got so many new updates on that right there. It's crazy. Crazy. Yeah, so, but the average foundation Black American was absolutely an immigration restrictionist. Why are we going to cape for somebody else when we're not right? That's just stupid. Okay. So no, we were absolutely immigrationist, immigration restrictionist by default. It was just a survival tactic. We had no choice. Let us get right first, and then we can talk about somebody else.
Americans, we've been the one reaching out, even like with apartheid in South Africa. It had motion, but when Black Americans start making things, stuff start getting moving.
There has been a percentage that want it and the ones that don't, man. And just like any other situation in America, you got to find your tribe. Find the ones that own what you own and build with them. And
it's called being on code.
It's gonna always be some. It's gonna always be some coons. Always be some house niggas.
Yeah, coons, and then you got coons and you got tethers.
I think to answer Willie's question, it sounds like the idea that people we have of like what FBA stands for is not necessarily fully true.
No.
Like, yeah. So
No.
you guys kind
it's
of
not
like,
it's not a hate group or none of that.
Right. Right. You
It's just a
debunked it.
labeling our culture. That's it.
And sometimes the toxic talking points kind of speak a lot louder than the ones that are true. And that's why y'all are here to kind of debunk and like speak truth to the ideology and what you guys stand for.
Really quick before you went off of that topic, I think we decided, I can say we, but the phrase foundational Black American came up in a mix of finding identity and finding culture and finding association, like our African brothers have, or people from other dark countries. They have the ability to call that country home again. Or go back and say, I'm Sudanese, I'm Kenyan, I'm from Zimbabwe, or wherever you're from.
We proud Americans.
You have the ability to say that. If you live in China, Tibet, Istanbul, no matter, you can always say I'm Sudanese or whatever. And I think for us, we done had every effect of the African, but haven't had every benefit of being American. And so sometimes the African American is like, really fit the situation that we dealing with. And so when you take a term like foundational Black, foundation meaning bottom or a star or the strength of a building, that's what we are in this country. I mean, everybody take our jam and rock with it harder than us. They getting paid for it. And they look good doing it. But when we do our thing, foundational Americans have seen that we can't benefit the same way as
So my question goes back to, how do we win now? Y'all was just running away from that for some reason.
You win by
how
being
do we
an
win now?
individual
You can win
and
in
making
life.
yourself
you can
better.
win. We can
That's how
win.
you win.
That's the problem. Everybody, but I do understand that. I feel like the Black American or African American experience is very unique in terms of, as a people who you were taken and you don't really know where you were taken from, and then and
it was a mixture of countries, put on one boat.
Exactly. Hey, you hear this guy? Every time he got a chance to talk, he's throwing shots. We were taken. Listen, I wrote the show. Okay, I wrote the ladies. If they agree, I'm gonna say invite that guy. Okay, I want the two ladies and I want him. Every chance he got to say, throwing shots. I want him to explain this taken theory, this taken hypothesis, this taken lie, or this taken conspiracy theory. I would love for him to be on a podcast with myself, with the two ladies, and explain this taken lie. Okay, because he keep throwing shots, and he's going to find out. All right. He didn't get what he deserved on the podcast because that young dude was ruining it. But I'm gonna get him if I'm able to get those two ladies and this guy over here. I'm gonna get him.
Exactly. Like it's a very unique experience from any other group people have ever experienced in the world, where they can be like, hey, yeah, we were slaves, but we were slaves from. They know exactly where they came from.
And I think that's African people's responsibility to, because I think a lot of times.
Wait. He said some slick shit. I'm over here writing.
It was a mixture of countries, put on one boat.
Exactly. Like it's a very unique experience from any other group people have ever experienced in the world, where they can be like, hey, yeah, we were slaves, but we were slaves from. They know exactly where they came from.
And I think that's African people's responsibility to, because I think a lot of times we look down on African Americans for not knowing where they come from.
Well, y'all still got the receipt. Y'all sold it.
Well, we'll talk about that in the
y'all is a very strong word.
I wouldn't say y'all.
I'm not talking to y'all. I'm just saying like.
Hey, yo, I love old boy, yo. He said, "Oh, you don't know where we come from." Yeah, again, that lie. Yeah, we come from America. Okay, but I like it. He said, y'all got the receipt. You tell us. You dig? Yeah, but that was a good clap back.
Yeah,
and that's a great point that we need to get to.
But we need to get to that.
But who's y'all? Like,
I think this is a great place to take a pause.
Yo, what's up with all the cuts? Yo, these cuts are crazy.
I was a very strong word.
I wouldn't say y'all.
I'm not talking to y'all. I'm just saying like.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and that's a great point that we need to get to.
But we need to get to that.
But who's y'all? Like,
I think this is a great place to take a pause.
3 cuts. Yeah, that was crazy.
Based on what Willie just.
All right. Let me see where we at in the chat. Oh my God. Miss D6 Women's Sports. Peace to you in the building. Yo, that was crazy, yo. That was crazy. That young dude was off the hook. All right. It's 11:20. Let me see. Did I have anything else that I might want to squeeze in? I just made my coffee. Maybe I'll do another one. All right. Is this the clown? Okay. Yeah, let me do this clown real fast. So this guy, I challenged him too, and he never responded. But he claims to be a debater. Hold on, let me see if he responded. So this guy right here I'm about to play, he claims he be cooking FBAs when he's loudmouth. What is this? Yes, he didn't respond. So like these guys don't respond. What is this? Oh boy. How long ago was this? It's 11 years ago. Hold on. Hold on. Yo. Hold on. Wait a minute. Yo, he got a video 11 years ago about the diaspora war. Wow, this is crazy. I need to see what this is about.
Go downtown. Some people they stand around.
This is 11 years ago.
I mostly heard positive stereotypes about Africans, really saying smart, intelligent, and that if they're in university, they're actually majoring in biological sciences or engineering.
Yeah, but that's the elite class. That's anybody elite class. Shit, the Latino elite class, they doing the same shit. Everybody elite class got people in college and in tech and in science. That's not like, you know. Now if the majority of the country is doing that, yeah, that's something big. But if your small, tiny elite class is doing that's not that impressive. That don't mean the whole ethnic group is smart. Okay, it just means their elite class is smart. But everybody elite class is smart, and everybody else isn't as bright. So yeah, that's something we gotta stop doing. The same thing with Asians. Asians got their elite class over here too, right? But you go to Asia, most of the Asians are dumb as hell. All right, that's y'all can Google it. Dudes are the IQ, all that stuff that they're stereotyped over here to have. That's not the case in Asia, in China. Dudes dumb as bats, literally the bats they cook and eat. They got the
like that.
Well, I heard Nigerians steal, and, so like I'm a little careful around them. And then like,
so they still he means scam.
Like I heard they're dirty, they come from the jungle. And,
yeah, that might be cap. Like that might be staged. Dirty, come from the jungles. Like, come on.
They live in huts. I've heard that one.
Live in huts. Okay. Yeah, like come on, come on. Say something about Nigerians negative. Just say any negative African trope, just anything. Like stop.
Live in uncivilized tribes back in Africa. That Africa is just one big country instead of several different countries. That
this dude says several different countries, bro. That's just as bad as saying it's a country. Several is about 7, man. 7, 10. It's 54, fool. All right, so I see where this is going. But so far it's one-sided. They just got FBAs dissing Africa for no reason. Why would we care? We're so focused on American things. We are a first world country. We are distracted by games, sports, debates, politics. We're too distracted in America to be sitting around thinking about what's happening in Nigeria, man. I just can't stress that enough. We're not thinking about Nigeria or any place in Africa. We're too distracted with entertainment over here, man. And like real life.
You all speak primitive languages, that you all dance around, have.
Who the hell says and we dance around? So come on, man. They speak primitive languages. Will you stop? They dance around, we dance around. Like they got these dudes just making stuff up on the fly to pretend like we're attacking them. Like, come on, man. Who's again? We're not sitting around worried about their language and if it's primitive or not. That's stupid. How is a language primitive?
Rituals and celebrate holidays or things that we don't celebrate here in America that you all...
Holidays? They celebrate holidays in Nigeria. Really?
Let's see, what else I heard?
Look. They got them just coming up with anything off the top of the head. This is a staged video. These coons just falling for this narrative. Oh, look, they're attacking us. Come on, man. He's trying to think. It's not coming off the head freely. It's not flowing like water, what he really believes. He's trying to think of anything that comes to his head. This is garbage.
That you all might not smell so well or those sort of things. All very ignorant stereotypes. But I just want to say that
Oh, see, okay, okay, come on, man. Yeah, come on.
These are some of the things that circulate around the African American community.
No, it does not. That's a lie. I told you, I told you, I called this out. These guys are pretending that we're thinking about Africans in Africa, a third world country that's known in our media. Listen to my words. In our media is that Africa, the continent, is a third world continent. The whole damn thing. In our media, Africa is known for disease, poverty, one man with 300 wives, starvation, war, tribal affairs. In our media, that is how Africa is promoted. So why the hell would we think about that?
And yeah.
I've heard that we're lazy, we're kind of unmotivated to do anything, we're not hardworking, that type of thing, so which is completely untrue.
Well, I think that they think like, you know, that we're lazy, you know, like sex, drugs, and money are like what drives us today, is all we want.
Now, I'm sorry to say I'm not being biased, but that's true though. They said they watch movies. So this is true. What they said that we say about them is false. But they said this themselves. Like, come on, man.
And like school isn't important.
Peace.
And you know, we're just a bunch of like thugs and gangbangers.
Africans believe that black people are involved in gang activities or what they see perceived or portrayed on television, such as gang violence, I guess teen adolescence, illegal drug use, or the things that they sort of stereotypically believe that we do and think that the majority of African Americans or blacks participate in.
All right, so before I log off, this is the last video, but I'm gonna read some information you guys might like. It's gonna piggyback on W. Du Bois' real heritage, like or his real ethnicity. We're gonna talk about the Haitians and the HIV thing, like where did that come from, and what else? Oh, what other alternatives could the Haitians done that has nothing to do with rebellion? Like, what else could they have done? Was there another way to go about their enslavement where they didn't have to rebel and basically be sent to a prison sentence of perpetual poverty? Like, really, like Haiti's like really in like earthly hell for their rebellion. So I don't believe the rebellion, nobody believes the rebellion at this point was worth it.
Or that they're like bad people and that like they're not to be associated with, like especially from a lot of like the elderly African people, like African parents and families that we know. They tell us to like stay away from them because they have like they're bad people and that there's always a bad rep about them.
African Americans are lazy.
It's getting boring. It's getting late. Okay, I gotta wind down. I'm way up late. All right, anyway, let me do this. Okay, so yes, at one point, the Haitians were involved in the rhetoric of spreading HIV. So what the person said, that was true. Okay, so it was called the 4-H Club. You had homosexuals, hemophiliacs, heroin users, and Haitians. Okay, so this framing unfairly stigmatized Haitians without sufficient scientific evidence. So this was a shot at Haitians. How did Haitians get associated? In the early 1980s, some Haitian immigrants in the U.S., particularly in Florida and New York, were found to be among early AIDS patients. So Tariq Nasheed wasn't wrong when Tariq Nasheed said a lot of the Haitians, and I'm sorry, not Haitians, he said, so a lot of the blacks that's being diagnosed with AIDS, okay, aren't necessarily foundational. He said a lot of them are immigrants and we're reading Haitians, okay? So researchers did not understand the disease yet, and because Haiti was a majority black impoverished nation, it became an easy scapegoat. There were also returning American tourists and sex tourists to Haiti who may have contributed to transmission in both directions. A 2007 study in PNAS, PNAS, traced one of the early strains of HIV-1 subtype B and concluded that it likely passed through Haiti from Central Africa to the U.S. in the 1960s and 70s. But this was not due to Haitians as a group. Rather, the strain traveled through human networks like African professionals in Haiti, international aid workers, sexual contact between multiple populations. Was it their fault? Absolutely not. HIV/AIDS spread globally through international travel, lack of medical knowledge, unsafe medical practices, social and sexual networks, not ethnicity or nationality. The Haitian stigma was unscientific and racist. It led to discrimination, immigration bans, and job losses for innocent Haitian Americans. It didn't say black Americans or black Haitians. It said Haitians, Americans, despite no clear evidence that Haitians were any more responsible than any other group. Okay. So okay. So okay. Now let's talk about Haiti and their fight for independence. Okay. So let's just start from the top. Got cool with that? Before we get out of here, I'm gonna read this and we're out of here. I ain't going. I know it's late. I know it's late. I know it's late. Just bear with me till I get this out. Haiti became the first black republic and the first post-colonial independent nation in Latin America and the Caribbean in 1804 after a successful slave war. Now, revenue would say, look, it says black. It says black republic. They're calling them black. Yeah, they're doing it now, fool. 2025. You dig? Okay. Yeah, they calling everybody black in 2025. So we're taking it back. At that time, no colonized African or Caribbean nation had successfully broken away from European powers. Okay. So they're using black and African as interchangeable. But if you do a quick Google search and ask, is black and African interchangeable? It's going to say no. So revenue explain that. So it says, why did they suffer? Global isolation. European nations, including the U.S., feared slavery results in their own territories and diplomatically and economically isolated Haiti. In enmity to France, 1825, Haiti was forced to pay 150 million francs, later reduced to 90 million, to France for lost property, i.e., the freedom of enslaved people and destroyed plantations. It was essentially a ransom for recognition. The debt crippled Haiti for over a century and was not fully paid until 1947. Should they have waited like African nations in the 1960s? And that was my question. My question was, were they better off just waiting another 100-something years like all of the other African colonized countries and just get their independence naturally in the 1960s? Here. Oh, I knew I had to do something. I had to throw that damn cover in the damn dryer. Oh, man, I knew I had to do something. Okay. So, should they have waited like African nations in the 1960s? This is an unfair revisionism. Here's why. Africans in the 1960s had the benefit of post-World War II decolonization momentum, pressure from Cold War powers, U.S. and USSR, to grant independence, global anti-colonial institutions like the UN, Haiti in 1804 had no allies, no anti-colonial precedent, white supremacist global powers actively working to destroy them. Okay, so Haiti's revolution was brave, historic, and morally correct. The perpetual poverty argument blames the victim rather than the system of retaliation by European empires. So I still think they should have waited, right? Anyway, and I think some of them think they should have waited. Was W. Du Bois a foreign-born Black or a Black American? Born February 21st, 1868, in Great Barrington, Massachusetts. Heritage: Father Alfred Du Bois, a Haitian of mixed African, French, and possibly Bahamian ancestry. Mother Mary Sylvina Burgat, of African American descent with roots in Massachusetts. So he's mixed. So again, like I don't know why tethers do that. Tethers will find a mixed FBA and make them an immigrant. Okay. So he's both. He was mixed. So I don't need to go any further with that. That's it, man. That's it. Just wanted to read that off to y'all. I think we can hang our hat and close this session out. Sorry I started off late. I try to get on in between 7:38. End up getting on at 9 o'clock. Oh well, you dig. I feel like I can exhale now. I was able to talk to my family. We went over some videos, we laughed, we joked, we got serious, and we learned some things just now. Read some things, found out about why the Haitian HIV connection was there, why is W. Du Bois FBA or immigrant, and he's FBA plus immigrant, which FBA and you know what I mean, and they could claim the immigrants could claim them too, but whatever. And yeah, man. That's it, family. So FBA Freeman says, I'm pretty sure they cover to Mandamus religion to get his shit. And Spearman Height says, we waited longer than everyone else. Now look at FBA's #1, right? Carlos Magus said, good night, FBA family. Good night to you. Ray said, Haiti produces cutthroat demons. Miss D, 6 women's sports said, stay away from them. But I thought we were all Black. Exactly. All right, family. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. The lineage always. Tomorrow I may try to wake up on some early goofy SHIT because I want to get to the library kind of early. I don't want to get there at 12, 1 o'clock. I want to get there in the morning, like at like 10, 11. So family, tomorrow morning, I'm going to set my alarm clock to try to go live at like 6:30 a.m. if 6 o'clock is possible, just to be done around like 9, 10 o'clock, or maybe do a long one, be done at 11. I can't promise that, but I'm shooting for that so I could be out of here in the morning at the library very early. All right, man. Like I said, peace, y'all. Love the family. We want